I'm laying in bed, and then it's been a while.
It's been a while.
So
been a while.
So I'm not even saying anything. I'm just laying in bed, looking at the ceiling, right?
It's been a while.
Maybe you should put some glow stars.
Then Crystal.
That's the cutest thing you've ever said.
Finally gets the point, and then she's like,
I see you want your cock wet.
Are you waiting me out?
What I like to do, which I imagine is frustrating, is when I wait her out.
Okay, I want to know if anybody listening right now thinks that when your partner lays down and grunts and stares at the ceiling is a sexy turn on.
Like a caveman.
Are you like, oh yes, oh my God, look at him over there, pathetic.
We think you are. We think
I
you
can't wait to just.
What do you want me to do?
It's not that simple.
What do you want?
I am already in my sleeping socks. Okay,
Sleeping
I have
socks?
my mouthpiece in.
How long are these sleeping socks? Describe them.
I think they're wool and they come up to here.
Wool!
My feet get cold at
Got
night.
him Civil War soldier.
Oh my God.
Why?
Those are Robert E. Lee Stomper socks.
She's established over this time that once the
Send 'em to our house.
socks and the mouthpiece and all the gears on, it's a no-go, right? So this is okay.
You got to get her right out of the shower.
Yeah, wait a minute. Okay, well, hold on. This is my gripe.
You've arrived at your destination.
You
shit.
walked
I
into
can't
it like
wait.
a trap.
It's a trap.
She gets out of the shower, right? And then so I'm like, all right, I'm going to take a shower real quick. I just worked out. But so then I'm thinking, it's like maybe it's time.
It is time.
No, I take a shower.
He slap stomps.
Just fast. Like,
Hold on.
Shower with soap. In my mind, I'm like, I need to catch her before the socks.
If I wanted you to, approach me, I wouldn't hurry up and get into the bed. You see what I'm saying?
She's giving
Well,
clues.
I know. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Special show.
Yes. Okay.
I
so
gotta use I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to embarrass myself with somebody I've worked with before.
this all started when, I saw a Facebook memory.
You do that? You do the Facebook
It
memories?
just comes up on my timeline,
Okay.
and it was when we started A Corporate Time.
Okay.
There's no puddles in my house. Everything goes in.
Oh, you got him. You got him. I saw his eyes thicker. My God, you got him. His eyes.
I can't.
Oh no, I don't want.
Yes, I got him.
You got him.
I need to teach Andrea the joy of being bad at life.
There's joy in that?
There is joy, Samantha.
There's
but
joy in everything, Tom says. It's a book coming out later this year.
It's the same joy that the Joker feels when he's burning the money and he's just standing.
Just chaos.
Yeah, some men like to watch the world burn.
Yeah, he's burning the money, and it's like, why are you doing that, Joker? And he loves it, right? So the same thing when I order one Jersey Mike sub on a Sunday, and I'm out doing
$38 sub.
Yeah.
I'm out doing yard work, and I'm like, I'm hungry, and then I'm like, I could get in my car, a truck, and drive over to Jersey Mike's, and easily order it on the app, and then run inside.
That's what she does.
Like there's an easy process, but instead I go to Uber Eats or DoorDash or whatever.
Bring the food to me.
I click on
Yeah.
I click Jersey Mike's.
I want that.
I get one medium Italian combo.
Wow.
And then it's like
That's a good
it's
sub,
like
by the way.
it's like $8.50 or like maybe I guess Jersey Mike's like $13.
Oh, Brock Medium says he has absolutely paid $60 for 2 chicken sandwiches. $60 for 2 chicken sandwiches.
And then so
Oh my God.
it's $13 worth of the order.
She'll
and then,
never do that. She's too cheap.
And then
And I-
delivery.
and
I
then
have
delivery,
told you-
and, yeah, and
I
then
have told
you
you
have
my
to at
wife
least
is
tip
cheap.
$5, yeah, and then, yeah, and then it comes to $28, and then I look at it and it's like and then I order, I'm like. and then you're filled with regret, which gives you a burst of adrenaline.
Until
Hold on,
you
I'll
get
tell
the
you.
sub, you got to get the sub, and
Yeah.
then it's all you feel
No,
better.
But instantly you get buyer's remorse, and then you start punishing yourself. You're like, idiot. This is why you're, why do you do this?
Yeah.
Like you could, you're wasting money. You're
Don't
such a
tell
waste.
anybody you did this, you idiot.
Yeah, but then there's a secret, like an
Yeah.
element, like, oh, don't tell Crystal.
It's naughty. It's a
don't
little
tell
naughty.
anybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you forget. It's kind of like when you're bad at life and you waste money doing something stupid, overdraft, all the stuff. I get a little bit of that back.
Yeah.
It's my overdraft fee.
Yes, yeah.
Because why did this pack of cigarettes cost me $25 in overdraft fees, but you still got your sweet cigarettes. So when the sub gets delivered,
This isn't my way of thinking,
And
but
then
I'm
you
almost
eat it.
on
Is it the
board.
best sub you ever had?
no, it's
a medium
It's
sub.
cold. It's
It's a
soggy.
medium
It's
Italian.
Yeah. It took forever to get there. Yeah, it's not even
smushed.
all
Yeah.
your Diet Coke is a water. It's all bad.
Yeah, it's all bad.
Everything about it
And
is
they put
bad.
it right in front of your storm door, so you have to knock it over to get your
They
food.
knocked the Coke
yeah.
over. Yeah.
Everything about it is bad, but that's what makes it good.
All right.
All you have to do is do those things, and
Just
then they're
copy
watching
them.
you, and then they'll just do it.
Just copy them.
So, like, whenever they're wearing something cute, I say, "You look really nice today in that. I love those pants on you."
Mhm.
So then they just do it. You know how they say thank you? What TC and I always talk about, and I'm bragging a little bit, but like, I don't have to tell my kids to say thank you. They genuinely feel thankful when somebody does something nice for them, which I love
Yeah.
so much. I never taught them to say thank you. I just we just say thank you to them or like to other people.
It's
So
just
they just
commonplace,
learned it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if you lead by example, then they
He
just
zoned
do
out,
those
I saw.
things.
Everybody gets more steadfast in their ways, and whatever personality trait tends to become more and
Do
more
you see it in
hardened.
you at all? What is your...
Well, you're young, right? How old are you?
28.
20. Yeah, you're still
But
in
it's
your
getting,
20s.
like, I can feel myself changing inside.
Uh-oh, Venom.
It's happening. I mean, that's what quickly with anger, and I'm like, I'm not putting up with this shit
Yeah.
anymore.
You
I'm
get
tired
snappier.
of people's bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Snappier,
Yeah.
a lot more lying around.
That comes with it. Yeah.
Wearing bigger underwear.
yeah. Oh,
You know
yeah.
what? I wear the same underwear. I just force my muffin and balls into tiny. It's bad. It's got to be bad for me. But every time I take my underwear off at the house, there's bruises where it was squeezing my dick and balls.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yep, still got it. 32s. You know?
I believe Max at one point got the lowest score, and then
Go to the hat.
and then
No.
Max,
Go to the hat.
and then Max says, "What's the opposite of winner chicken dinner?" And then we were like, loser, pig man snoozer.
Big man.
Now, the officials are ready. The fighters are in the ring, and they are ready.
I almost cursed. That would make me cry too. You're a goddamn animal. You're a vicious animal. You called him loser, big man snoozer. Dude, I would punch. I would be a
No, and then-
if you said that to me now, I'd punch you right in the face.
Then he stormed
Yeah, I
off
would
and started
storm off
crying,
too.
and he's like, "Will you call me pig man snoozer?"
Next shirt is loser, pig man snoozer.
And then we're like, "Come on, Max, you're just joking."
Let's get ready to rumble!
Winner, chicken dinner versus loser, big man snoozer.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. What up, Twitch? Good morning, YouTube. And you guys can test this out for me. Go to tomanddan.com and see if you can see the stream there. That would be cool. Go and check that out for me, if you don't mind. Let's see who's here. We got Christine. Christine, I'm sorry about the streaming on the flight. Hopefully it's a little bit better now. I tried to dial it in a little bit better. Kupo asks, what's new? Do you mean in general? Nothing. Shell, what's up? Just getting off work. Crystal Apiece. Fieldler 70. What up, y'all? Yeah, that poster's cool, isn't it? Gotta get my voice less gravelly. Canadian Josh, Brock, Tracy, Ghost, Innate, Ricky. Does it have sound and whatnot? God damn it. Does it have sound? It just doesn't have a chat room, right? Okay. Working on that. Going to pick up your car from VW. The People's Motors. Yeah, I'm just fucking around trying to... Tom and I were talking about that. We were thinking about what if we had the live stream on our page and then we had the live stream on our own app. And then that way, I mean, theoretically, all you guys would need to do is go to the app, right? And then check out the show. I mean, you can do that on Twitch now, too, which is great, but... You know, maybe you would want to do it this way. I don't know. Let's see how it works. Just go to the app. Yep. Oh, look at that. Inception. I mean, you can do that on Twitch now, too. All right. Yeah, we're just trying some stuff. We're not killing anything. No. This would be in addition to. Not. Mr. Beast is being sued? Oh, I didn't see that. I saw that he was suing a lot of the ghost kitchens that fucked up his branding and didn't do his burgers right. Although I did hear, and I'll give a shout out to locally, the 2J's on Colonial, which I go to. I like that 2J's. They were, I believe, the Mr. Beast burger on this side of town, and they had good burgers from what I was told. But yeah, we're not getting rid of anything. I'm just trying to. Here's my idea. You guys kick it around. Tell me what you think. I'm just trying to make it easier for you guys to get the stream, because like Twitch is easy and YouTube's easy, but our YouTube numbers are terrible. Like we're lucky if we get like 7 people on there. You're about to spill your drink.
Oh, good.
What do you got today?
He's
highball?
injured.
I know. I feel bad for him. Andrea's like, how does he, is he okay? I said, don't talk about it. Don't even talk about it when he's not around. You can't talk about it.
Don't ask the status.
Don't put it into the energy. Don't put the energy into the universe. Oh, hold on. I missed our lights. I missed our lights up.
We will need to come up with a nickname for this gentleman because he wants to be anonymous.
Oh, okay. I'm good at that. Narshi Patar. There you go.
No.
So easy. It's so easy. Some people would say, no, nobody can do that better than me. Narshi Patar is his name. Sergeant Narshi. Oh, God. Right in the eyes.
Hey, good morning. It's Sam with Tom and Dan. You good to talk with us now? All right, cool. I'm going to have them make you up a nickname, and we'll get going in a couple minutes, okay? No problem. All right, hold on. He's on line 1.
All right. You should have... Yes, it worked. Hey,
Yes.
maybe if I let the TV get situated, if I connect it, maybe
You
I've
gotta
been
let it wake up.
I've been doing it out of order the whole time. Like I did it that time. It was like, boop. Here to serve you, sir. How may I help you, sir? Okay, hold on. grab one more little thing here. Okay.
Yeah, well, Facebook streams, Kupo, are always going to be not great.
Yeah, they're terrible. We're not on Facebook right now. Okay, I'm going to think of a good name for you. Do you want a macho name, a silly name? Don't say your real name because you're live on Twitch and YouTube. Do you want a silly name or a macho name?
Macho for sure.
Okay, macho for sure. Your name is Valentino Righetti. That's your name. Valentino Righetti.
Come on.
That's your name.
Right.
All right.
It doesn't have to be that
And if you don't speak
I can't even
and if you don't speak in an Italian accent, points off.
Oh, damn.
Okay.
No,
I
come
already
on,
forgot the name. What was it again?
Valentino something.
No, no.
Righetti.
Valentino spaghetti.
Righetti. Valentino Righetti, but we call you Val.
All right. I can
Okay.
take that.
Hold
No,
on.
no, come on.
Val Demmings. Lost her gun. Remember that?
God
Remember?
damn, they never found that, did
Yeah,
they?
I don't think they did. Sorry. That just made me laugh. Okay. Mr. Van, you're fervorously writing, so I'll give you time.
No, I'm just for plugging.
I'll talk to the chat room.
Okay,
Valentino Righetti.
We're good.
All right, I got that today too. I got
Forgot about the gun, so did she.
open
That's why I got
house.
stolen.
Yeah, I know. What if I had it? I might have it. I'm gonna start that rumor.
Ooh, sell it on eBay.
I have it. I have the gun.
Turn it in for some kicks.
I would definitely lose my gun multiple times if I
Carried it around?
Yeah, if
Yeah,
I
me
had
too.
a gun.
For sure. That's why
Me
some
too.
people should not open carry because they're irresponsible.
You know how many sunglasses, eyeglasses.
Phone, keys.
I have not ever lost my phone, which is
You'll forget
unbelievable.
it, though. You'll forget it, but you will find it.
I've had the same contacts in my phone. They're not even backed up for like
that.
To be
15
fair,
years.
it's
I like
usually
that.
glued to your hand.
I like that he
Yeah,
raw
true.
dogs his contacts. He's like, no backup on this.
Yeah. It's rare people
And you got some.
forget where
you
they
have
put their
important
fentanyl.
stuff in there. You have important stuff in there. Dennis Anderson, Larry the Cable Guy. You get some of the heaviest hitters in there. Roberta Boucher. All right, would you like to start?
Yeah.
Here we go. And 3, 2.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha, our producer, is here. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
Is that a new cup? That's a cool.
It is a new cup.
That is a see. This I
had to get one because
I
the paint was coming off the other one.
I noticed things.
Oh.
I noticed things. You gotta do this every morning when you wake up. This is gonna help you with your wife. When you wake up, put an intent in your brain. I'm gonna notice something today. I'm gonna notice one thing every single day.
You gotta put in work, but you're wasting your noticing powers. So
No,
Sam doesn't care.
But I notice all of them. When
notice
I
how much- you know what I'm saying?
I know she
so
doesn't care.
use it for someone who cares.
Okay,
You're
correct.
wasting
Correct.
it.
You don't have to yell at me.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm right. You're right. You're right.
What is this like?
You're right. It was like any of my neighbors shooting into the sky on New Year's. Waste.
Like Sam doesn't care if we notice her new cup
I don't know
or
that.
her hair or whatever.
I
Like,
mean,
she doesn't get any.
it's better than if she walked in here and we're like, "Oh, you again," you know.
Well, you don't have to be a D-head. Just say nothing. That's what she likes.
Okay, all right.
She
I
knows.
don't know her love language. I'm sorry.
It's like that's why me and Sam don't compliment each other or say any
She
niceties
does
to each
compliment
other.
you sometimes. She does.
No, it's
Yes,
never.
she has. She has.
I usually am razzing him about something.
But you have complimented him
What?
before.
She's
More
never
than you've
complimented
complimented her. You've never complimented her.
She's never complimented me.
He'll think I'm seducing him if I do.
No. Well,
I don't know
she
what I
doesn't
did
know-
by opening this. I'm sorry.
It'd be awkward if she ever complimented me. And then, yes, I would. I would be like, oh, my God. I would think, I was like, am I on a hidden camera show? Like,
You're on candid camera.
Let's plug something. What do we got going on that our listeners can benefit from? Because that's basically why we do this show.
Orlando
for you guys.
Science Center, of course, their dog exhibit
Oh
is
my
still
God! I thought you were
going
going to say
on.
Dog the Bounty Hunter.
No.
I freaked out for a second because did you guys know that Dog the Bounty Hunter is having a festival, and you can go to it?
What kind of festival?
I want to go. I'm trying to get Andrea to go. Finish your plug, and we'll come back to the Dog the
it-
Bounty Hunter festival.
And then Engineering Week is going on August 19th and 20th. They also have another Science Night Live. That's their adult only night.
Yeah.
that you can go and have some adult beverages, walk around the science center.
A little date night, you know?
And they have really good guest speakers and stuff. That's August 26th. So that's all going on at the Orlando Science Center.
Yeah.
Most importantly, AC. They have AC, and you can take your kids there and enjoy AC.
You can dress up.
Yeah.
Because there's AC,
Yeah.
here's something crazy I figured out. Because there's AC there, you can wear pants and your favorite high-top sneakers. You can.
Yeah. Well, you still got to get from the parking garage.
Go fast. You just go fast.
Yeah. If you walk fast enough.
Yeah, if you walk fast enough, as soon as you get the tunnel, it'll start to cool down, and you will have a great, great time.
All right, let's do some weird job.
All right, now, you said that you had told me weeks ago you wanted to go back through some of the classic Weird Job songs because I have to really be inspired to do them. But I was inspired to replay one of the original ones. I think this was the third one that I ever did. This one kind of set off me doing different Weird Job songs all the time. This guy has a new album out that he just put out last week called Austin. He just rolled through Tampa. I saw Mike Busey hanging with him. I saw Ric Flair hanging with him. None other than Mr. Post Malone.
Posty.
Was Busey hanging out with Post Malone?
Oh my God, they were hugging and kissing each other, and Busey's known him for forever, dude.
Yeah.
Since he probably 15, 20 years ago.
really wanted to do a bit. They really like the Thompson bullshit.
Sorry.
Bullshit. What are you doing for your day job? It's a Weird Job Wednesday. Tom really wanted to do a bit. They really like the Thompson bullshit.
I forgot this too.
Oh, you're bad at your timing.
I really am.
Whoa. Do you make lots of money? Sitting up in your tower, looking down on all the people who are working by the hour. Really wanted to
I think we can fade it down now. I don't want to give her more work to do, but hey,
That was a good one.
Yeah, that was a classic.
Post Malone's a weird dude, right?
I think
I
he is.
love him.
I like him too.
No, he seems
man.
like a
He's
nice,
sweet man.
Yeah,
but he's weird.
I
right?
think I
Why do you
love
think
him
he's
or like
weird?
him too.
Just from the small TikTok clip interactions I see,
'Cause
especially
he's
the one
passive,
he
he's
uses as a
harmless.
meme.
He's
Yeah.
harmless.
No,
Yeah.
I'm saying he's nice. It's just,
I like that. I like that he is just harmless. He's not out to hurt anybody, and
He just it seems like he's always I don't know.
seems like he's always drunk.
Or
Not anymore. He stopped drinking.
Yeah, he did stop, but
or
like
some
That's why he's lost so much
sort of
weight.
like he's so super high or something, right?
yeah, he does seem.
Yeah, he likes to get high, smoke cigarettes,
Yeah.
and hang out with his
He's
friends.
a mellow dude.
I like the fact that he still smokes cigarettes.
Yeah.
It's
Me
a
too.
rare thing
I like
nowadays.
the fact that he's standing on a stage that was designed by designers that wear suits that spent billions of dollars designing it, and he's jumping around in jean shorts with his balls hanging out. That's awesome.
We have a BDM that does the sound for him.
Yeah,
Or he
we
has
do.
done the sound
We
for
should
him.
all.
Did you see his stage? It's like, and then
I've
he's
heard
on
he's
there a
really
tank top,
nice guy.
jean shorts. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've never heard a bad thing about him.
We
Me
should
either.
all start smoking cigarettes.
Okay,
I've been thinking about it.
Don't.
I've been
threaten
watching
me.
a lot of movies and TV shows where there's like chain smoking, and I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, I
yeah.
kind of
The
want one.
only thing
Let's
I was
smoke while we
okay,
do the podcast.
only-
the whole
Friday
time.
Friday smoke sessions.
The only thing that I was waiting for you to say to do that was what you just said. I am ready to do it.
Like, because it would.
I'm
we-
ready
I mean,
for
nothing
cigarettes.
matters anymore.
I told Andrew I'm
no
ready for
other
cigarettes again.
podcasts smoke while doing the whole show.
Maybe our guest Valentino would.
Okay,
What's
okay.
Valentino?
No,
do you
come on.
think that we should smoke cigarettes on the show?
Just don't throw them out your window, right?
I mean, it is pretty cool. Yeah, don't throw them out your window.
Yeah, this is Valentino.
Although that doesn't actually
what
do
did I-
anything anymore.
What was the name I came up
just
with?
make it easy. Just call
Valentino
him
spaghetti.
Yeah.
Joe.
Valentino.
Just say Joe.
This is Joe.
No, you don't have to give him some complicated.
Smoking Joe.
Fine. This is Joe. We give him. I like giving him a creative name.
So, Valentino, what's your weird job?
I am a Wildland firefighter.
Wildland
right.
firefighter.
So wait, you're the guy that's out there in the woods finding the scuba divers that are dropped from the cranes.
No,
Yes.
so, is it called a Wildman firefighter?
Wildland.
Oh, Wildland.
Oh, sorry, I
okay.
got the same
Oh,
mumble
sorry.
mouth. A Wildland
Okay.
firefighter.
We were hoping that. Yeah.
I was like, that's weird.
Yeah.
Uh,
What are you? I'm a wildman.
So, how do you even get this job? Do you start as a normal firefighter and then
Look for trees.
Yeah, I actually was structured before, but actually in Florida, we take kids right out of high school and train them. But one of my good friends started down here and told me about it, and it sounded amazing. So I came down to Florida from Virginia and started.
So is this now, do you work as a regular firefighter and then just do this when there's forest fire when it's needed, or is it year-round?
No, Florida's pretty much year-round. So I'm strictly wildland. I don't enter houses anymore unless it's like some crazy emergency.
Is that kind of like when you've made it? Is that like when you get the detective and you don't have to write like a traffic ticket or something where you're like, I've made it, I'm out there.
Actually, I still have to write tickets, but no, it's definitely a lot of people use it for a stepping stone here in Florida because we train you most of the way, and then they usually jump over to structure because they pay a lot better.
Yeah, I was about to say. Also, it seems like wildland firefighters, like
they do it for the love.
Well, it's harder.
Do it for the love of the trees.
Like, listen, firefighters are heroes. Let me say, they're all heroes.
Wait a minute.
Everybody's a hero.
Couple of years ago, you were okay.
But all I see them do is play pickleball in front of the
Not
firehouse.
the Wildland. Not the Wildland. The Wildland. They're out there smoking weed in the trees.
No, you're gonna dig ditches. I also like that wildland firefighters get to start fires. which
controlled fires.
Yeah, that's the best firefighter is the one that can control the fire.
I think most of their job is actually starting forest fires to fight other forest fires. So let's go into that.
Which has got to be a rush.
So what's your day to day?
You think like people that are arsonists try and get this job because they get to start fires for
That's
their
a
job?
Dexter. They're like a Dexter firefighter scenario.
Yeah, but the arsonists, they want to do it illegally.
Yeah.
Watch the world burn.
They also want to see a couple people go up, like Luke's parents or grandparents or what were they?
So
uncle, aunt and uncle.
Let's start with the basics of the job. What do you have to, what's different?
Well, basically, we don't get the awesome 24 on, 48 off. So
no Kelly days?
We work with humidity and weather. So pretty much sunlight is when we're working. Unless it's really bad, then we stay. But I work 8 in the morning. I get off at 5 unless there's fires. So I'm home every night, which is nice.
Now, do you have a normal station, and do you dress the same? Or I would imagine you throw a little more green into what you wear, right?
Yeah, I do, yeah. So green pants and shorts.
Yeah.
Our fire gear, our Nomex is real thin because we're walking around in the woods all day. If I had to have that huge bunker gear, I'd pass out in 10 minutes. So our gear is a lot thinner. But we're not getting as intense heat as you would crawling around in a house, searching room by room.
Is there a derogatory term that you call structure firefighters and vice versa for you as a forest firefighter?
Yeah, give us the lingo.
No, we're all pretty friendly. And they
like
actually
struck
are pretty
holes
nice
or
guys.
something? Like, he's a struck hole.
Well, it's like a local county sheriff and then highway patrol,
right?
Like the state police. They don't get along.
Exactly, and actually, that's a very fair comparison because we're state also. So
he knows it's a fair comparison. He told me this morning he's a genius.
So let's talk about first, how many fires, forest fires, are in Florida throughout the year?
Oh, tons, and that's the thing. News doesn't really cover it that much. But just in our district, which is somewhere in Florida, we had over 400 fires last year. There is a season, obviously the wet season. There's not that many, but during our 6-month season, I'll run 4 or 5 fires a day, anywhere from 1 acre to 10,000.
So what is the season?
So pretty much, whenever it's not raining. So it'll start up, October when it starts getting a little crispy out. We'll start getting drier, and then it'll run all the way up to June. Whenever the summer rains start, and then when those rains start, they'll actually send us out west. So I'm actually deployed to Texas right now, or somewhere out west, fighting fire right now because we got a lot of rain down south.
What's the number one cause of forest fires in Florida? Is it lightning, like most other forests?
There you go. Yeah, I teach the kids. I take Smokey Bears to schools, and that's the number one question. So usually it's lightning, depending on where we're at, and the second one is either kids or ATVs. But yeah, lightning is usually the biggest cause.
Those are Tom's 2 favorite things.
With the ATVs, is it because their exhaust shoot sparks, or that their engine heat causes a brush fire?
Brush pile.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah, both of those. They'll just and they don't do it on purpose, but they'll pull up in tall grass and eat a sandwich or whatever, and then kind of light
Nothing
it on fire
like sitting on your four-wheeler with the engine running, wolfing down I usually get I think it's the gargantuan from Jimmy John.
So,
gargantuan.
I forgot your name.
Valentino.
Valentino.
I know your real name, and I want to call you.
Don't you dare.
Valentino Rigetti.
So, let's talk about like when you get the alarm that there's a forest fire. What's the first?
And it's a hoot owl. It's not a. It's like a. That's how he knows.
When it's a structure fire, obviously, there's bigger structures than others, but for the most part, you're like, all right, I know how big the fire is. But with the forest fire,
unpredictable monster.
Do you fly a drone to get an aerial view of it?
No, the air from the drone will make more fire.
How do you know how big it is?
So mostly, it depends on who finds it. If we get a smoke complaint, we're one tractor response. So almost unless it's a real bad fire season, we know it's going to be bad no matter what. There's one truck with one bulldozer and one guy that goes investigates. And
cool.
I'll go out there and see what it is. I'll get a size up. I'll put a ring around it, and if I need more help, I call more help. But most of the fires we run is just one person.
I love the idea of driving out there on your bulldozer, and you get out there and you're looking at it, and it's a lot bigger than you thought, and you're like, oh my God! And you turn around.
Also, a slow way to get to a fire,
No,
normally,
these are speed bulldozers.
Yeah, you get on your bulldozer.
And now,
bullet dozer.
In the season, we'll have fixed wing airplanes that will do searches. They'll go up, at 11 o'clock in the morning and fly around the district and look for smokes. When it gets into good fire season.
That's cool, man.
So, now forest fire, in nature is a way for the forest to rejuvenate itself. Like it's a natural thing that happens.
It
where
trims itself back, right?
Well, also like,
yes.
old, growth that has fallen over or whatever, it kind of like it burns it all and then it gives nutrients to the soil.
Sure.
Because when you have add that,
the ash.
the burned carbon or whatever is good for the soil.
So, the nitrogen goes back in and all that.
Yeah.
But Florida has to burn. I mean, before we were here, you get a fire in Tampa and it burned to Miami, and that's the way it's supposed to be. Our
goddamn way it's supposed to be.
Don't drop unless fire hits them. So there's tons of stuff. We need fire for our ecology, but houses get in the way and we stop doing it, and then you get wildfires that we can't control.
So is part of your job also burning, like controlled burn forests so that it doesn't happen by accident?
Yes. So we have, our state forest will have burn programs. We'll burn sections each year. And then also out in the communities where these overgrown, lots next to houses that, like you were saying, are so overgrown with leaves and old dead shrubs. That's food. I mean, it's all food, so it's too much food. So when lightning hits it, I can't get there in time. So we'll drive around, we'll see something like that, we'll burn it, and get all that extra food out of the way. It won't kill the trees, but that way, something hits it, it won't get that big, and I can get there in time.
Do you get to walk like a line with one of those pots that makes the the fire on the ground? I've always as a kid.
What is that?
I saw that in middle school, I think, or elementary school.
It's like you're dripping the fire onto the ground.
Yeah, it's like it's the closest.
It's a drip torch.
I think
it's called a drip torch.
It's the closest you can come to being Mother Earth or destroying Mother Earth. You're standing on top of her with a device that is helping her, and by burn, it's crazy cool.
Yeah.
As a kid, I'd look at it and be like, I want to be that guy.
Also, it seems dangerous because it seems like that fire could blow the whatever you're holding up
the
and
dripping pot,
blow you in half. So how does it work?
No, I mean, hopefully they're designed good enough not to do that. I've had one pretty much on fire all over it. It didn't go up, so, but
what's in
that's
it?
Our drip torch, but we also have awesome ping pong machines.
They're
pretty sweet.
So you guys are never working. You're always playing the goddamn ping pong.
Hold on, what's a ping pong machine?
Oh, it's like a PLDO. So we either use it on an ATV or a helicopter, but it's literally a ping pong filled with magnesium and something else, and it injects glycol in it. So it gives it like 30 seconds and it'll blow up. burst into flames.
Well, how do we get one of these for the studio?
I mean, I don't know if there's any laws of buying them or not, but they're pretty sweet.
Well, if you don't know of any, then there aren't any.
And what do you shoot it into the forest?
Yeah, they'll go on the side of the helicopter and we'll go up there and we'll just, set a timer. So every, 2 seconds it'll drop a ball.
What?
And so we'll just fly a square around whatever we're burning.
It's like the fire version of Twister with those little ping pong balls.
Yeah, so if something's like too thick or it's too swampy for us to walk with that drip torch, we can do the same thing with those ping pongs.
Okay.
That's badass.
So
flaming ping pong balls.
We've all heard the stories of, and this is, I believe, out west. The gigantic forest fires in the mountains, and firefighters getting stuck, basically in the middle of one, and having to
dig a hole.
Well, they dig a hole, but they also have some sort of shields that they could put over themselves to let the fire go over them.
Yeah, our fire shelters. They only last for about 30, 45 seconds, but yeah, we all carry them. It's literally a tinfoil sleeping bag. You look like a baked potato.
30 or 45 seconds? That's just enough time for me to finish crying.
Pretty much. It's scary. I've pulled it out twice. Luckily, didn't hit me. But yeah, so it's basically, you if you're running away, you get to wherever you can that's not fuel. So don't lay on grass, obviously.
Gotcha.
So either scratch out sand, get on a rock, whatever you can do, get down low. And you're supposed to dig a little hole where your mouth is, put your bandana in your mouth so you don't breathe in the super hot gas, and then hopefully it just goes over you quick.
Now, we've seen the stories of the firefighters that have passed away because of these, how dangerous it is.
Super dangerous.
But does it happen in Florida? Because it seems like maybe out west, because you're in mountainous terrain and the winds are higher, the fires
more gusts
go faster.
It's definitely more common out west. Faster can kind of happen anywhere depending on winds and fuel load, but no, in Florida we've had I think 7 that happened to. The last was in 2011. We had 2 guys go of a burnover. No, it's super dangerous. And like I said, Florida, our fuels, they all have oil in them, like Malukas and type. Everything has so much oil in them. So I've been in the middle of a named tropical storm fighting a 40-foot wall of fire.
Wow.
I mean, the rain
This
doesn't
guy's a
stop,
real
it'll
man.
just go.
Are you getting pelted with rain and you can feel the heat?
Yes, it's a weird feeling.
That's crazy. How do you keep visibility in something like that?
It's real hard. Actually, I don't want to say that. It'll give away who I am.
Yeah. Don't give away, Valentino.
You can wear special glasses and all that. But yeah, you just got to keep your eye on the prize. We put one track in the black and one track on the green, so we ride the edge of the fire. So
we need a cool phrase like that for podcasting, like one hand on the mic, the other on my junk.
Do you guys
or something? I don't know.
Do you guys rarely use water and only basically use shovels and dig and bulldozers and stuff to separate the fuel?
Yeah, our primary tool is the dozer. So, like I said, I teach the kids at school, so we don't get water. There's no fire hydrants in the woods, is what I always tell them. So we can't spray water on the fire, but we can take away its food. But once my primary job is to get access. So if there's a 10-acre fire in the woods, I'm going to put a road around it as quick as I can. So we have a plow, which is like, dragging a finger, makes those big hills like in the farm fields.
Yeah.
I'll go around it real quick, and then I'll go around with my blade, and I'll just put an 8-foot rough road in, enough that a 4x4 brush truck can get in.
So you're doing a lot of
driving.
driving.
And then they can get in. Yeah.
That's cool. I mean, the idea of there's a fire, I got to drive around it. When you put it like that, that's very exciting to think. How quickly can I get my tools out there, right, and dig this hole? So it's just you're just trying to dig a hole as fast as you can, right?
Pretty much, yeah. I want to bring up that sand because sand hopefully don't burn unless it turns to glass. But I bring up that sand as quick as I can to stop the progression of the ground fire.
And you gotta
get into ground fires. It gets into the treetops and it doesn't care what you do on the ground. Then you gotta start knocking trees over like crazy.
But you gotta be like super pumped when you do that, right? And you execute it and you use your plow and everything. You get your blade under it. You scoop the sand. You do it, and then you look at the fire and it's relatively contained until you can get it out. That's got to be pretty rewarding.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun. Definitely why, like I said, you're at this job because you love it, not for the pay or anything. But
do you have to use science in any way to figure out the amount of distance that you have to be away from the actual fire in order to pull your plow through there? Is there?
But it also, even like the trenches, like just from watching on TV or whatever, seeing you guys do this, it seems like you have to build that wide of a trench for the fire not to jump across. But it seems like the wind would blow the embers over it and start up the other side easily.
Oh, it does, and that all comes into all the factors of how much fuel load, how much green is between you and the fire. That's why I said we usually put one track into black. That means I'm cutting out all of the food right where the fire is, so it doesn't actually have anything to eat and get big to jump over.
Gotcha.
That's the plan. But yeah, if it's so hot I can't get close to it, and it has 20 feet of something to burn and get bigger and bigger by the time it hits my thing, it's definitely jumping over. Or
that makes sense. Yeah,
pine straw and leaf litter. I've had I stopped this fire one time. I was so proud of myself, and I had a dang rabbit on fire run out of the fire and onto the other side and set the woods on fire behind me.
Oh, stupid rabbit.
Rabbit ran out on fire.
Oh, no.
Was he screaming?
Jesus, man.
God,
no time to scream.
It's bad to laugh at, but yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. It's fine. It's fine.
When you see that, you have to at least a little bit laugh.
You gotta be like, well, at least
you're a real man. I mean, you're just like, oh my God.
I feel like you would look at the rabbit as it's catching the rest of the woods on fire and be like, thanks a lot.
There's definitely some choice words.
Let me
got what was coming to him. He's good.
So Vinny, let me tell you about an idea that I've had, and that people call me an idiot, but I think it's brilliant.
It's the Pulber of firefighting.
It is kind of okay. So. With all the devastation forest fires have caused, especially out west, the billions of dollars of damage.
You're always talking about the devastation.
And it seems like, there's no stopping lightning, right? It's like lightning's going to strike the forest and they're going to start fires, right? Because
it's a natural process that is unstoppable.
Yeah, it's been going on since forest.
Actually, I've never thought about trying to stop lightning. It's the first time I've ever thought of it.
And then, to get out there, even with planes and stuff that drop water, it takes a long time. So I had this drone idea where you set up these
They're drones made of water, man.
No, it's like the giant industrial water drones that are I'm talking 1,000 of them.
They had these already.
They've
got to have this.
But in what it does,
I mean, from the first drone, you don't think firefighters are saying put some water on that drone?
Now this may cost $500 million per drone area.
Right.
No, not per drone, but you have to do 1,000 of these and then have the system. But you have some sort of satellite system that detects any hot spot in 1 million square acres.
So you're trying to eliminate his job.
Yeah. But I'm just trying to give it to robots. But so
has this bit deteriorated to the point where we get people to call in and then Tom tries to automate their job?
No. Well,
yeah, that's the new bit.
I'm just saying this is going to help humanity and
no job Wednesdays.
Do it more efficiently. And then when the satellite detects the hot spot, it just enacts the 1,000 water drones, and then immediately any 24 hours a day,
they're always working and refilling,
and then they're just going, and then they're spraying the water right at the very beginning before could that work?
Somebody's working.
Well, no, it would slow it down, but even with the water we have now, it doesn't ever put the fire out. It slows it down until we can get there to actually put a line around
That's
it.
a good answer.
But
kept your job.
Helicopters, airplanes.
No, he's saying it'll just slow it down.
But the 1,000 drones are continuously, don't stop working.
He and his team are more powerful than 1,000 drones.
They don't need to eat or sleep. They're always on patrol 24 hours a day. You don't have to pay them. They don't bitch about anything. There's no benefits.
Why don't you just have them dig?
We do have a fire drone now. like I was telling you about the helicopter with the ping pongs, they made that into a drone. So now there's one that does fire, but not water.
Flamethrower drone.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, we only have one that makes fires. We don't have one that puts them out.
Hold
I'm
on.
sorry.
Eventually, the fire drones will fight the water drones.
Yeah, and I'll watch it on TV, and Kenny will be standing there with his stupid hair. Sorry, Kenny, I love your hair.
All right, so what do you get paid? What does a wildland firefighter get paid?
Oof. So we actually just got a huge raise for the first time in years and years, but 3 years ago, it was nothing. When I started about 12 years ago, I got hired on at $24,500.
Wow.
Yeah.
How do you make a living?
That was depressingly low for somebody saving
That is the average across Florida.
And saving our state, right? Like this place that we love, we talk about how much we love living here, and this man is in charge of keeping it nice.
That's a 40-hour work week?
Well, that's a whole nother story. Technically, but we actually work off 160 hours. So any overtime you accrue, you take one, if you take off on the 30th to get your kid to school, you lose all your overtime. But yeah, it somehow works out to 40 hours unless there's fires, but we're not allowed to have overtime. So, if you stay up all night and miss your kid's soccer game and all that, they'll just tell you to come in late the next day or whatever. So you don't get to actually make any overtime money.
How much pickleball can you play?
Okay, let's get to the positive. This is getting depressing.
Is it like half the
you are
day
not
pickleball?
paid enough. You are not paid enough.
Is it majority ball?
We don't get to play around and play Xbox and sit and wait for fires, unfortunately. When we're not fighting fires, we actually maintain our own equipment. So I wrench on my own dozer. We maintain the state forest.
It sounds like you guys almost do this on honor system. Like you're just doing it for the.
Hold on, no pickleball.
There's no. You don't have you don't even have an old Xbox. How about an Xbox 360? Xbox 360.
They
Switch.
brought one in one time. We got in trouble, and then they took our.
In trouble with who? Who got you in trouble?
Hold on. Did you yell? What are the other guys are playing pickleball?
Yeah, I would have said.
Everybody else is playing pickleball.
I feel like we, as a small business, should buy them something fun for their unit. You guys at least have a Nerf basketball hoop or something in there, for Christ's sake.
Yeah. No, they don't like to see downtime, so we're always doing something.
Yeah, but the other firefighters are only downtime, so it's not fair.
Hold on, but you do get to jump on your four-wheelers and cruise around every once in a while.
Smoking weed in the woods.
Yeah, we do have swamp buggies and airboats and four-wheelers.
We got to go check a fire. You go out there,
just
smoke
patrol.
weed, maybe check X videos in the forest.
So you're riding around the forest in a four-wheeler.
Yeah, a little Pornhub.
I mean, we'll find a way, but...
Hey, I know what that means.
Well, Vinny, whatever we're calling
Valentino Righetti.
Thanks for being on Weird Job, and thanks for doing what you do.
Yeah,
because
you don't get paid enough.
We need
Florida did not burn around.
I don't know if anybody noticed, but it's hot outside.
What?
I don't know if that hurts or helps fires, but it couldn't help it.
It couldn't hurt.
I guess the rain created by the heat does help it, but I mean, just the extreme heat has to dry everything out. I mean, the rain can't compete with it, right?
One day, could the heat just start a fire?
Dude, it was...
There it goes.
Dude, last night at 8 o'clock, it was 99 outside. I'm like, no. I'm like, it can't be. It can't be 99.
When I went to dinner, 104.
Like, it's dark outside. It's dark.
All right, man. Hey, thanks so much, and we appreciate you doing it and listening, okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
All right, man. Be safe out there. Oh, sorry, I stole your tagline.
So,
boy, he does not get 24. What did he say, 24.5?
Yep.
Well, that was when he started.
But still.
Yeah, but the average as of this July in Florida, 2023, is 24.5. That's what they move the average to.
Because, like, I have friends that are firefighters and, like, structural firefighters, like my buddy Porno Joe. Like, he's got a sweet job. Like, on paper, this is a joke between all of our friends because I say, like, Joe's got the best job out of all of us.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I laugh about how because he's got Kelly days and all that stuff, but he put the time in and and did the work.
Yeah, I've got friends that are in the same boat in a small town. They work for the.
He worked his way up from Gainesville, and he did put in the years, and he did. But now being a Miami-Dade firefighter, and then he got his extra accreditations, and he teaches and stuff, and that's where the real money's at. He's a paramedic too, and he teaches in paramedic school. Anyway, he built a swimming pool and lives a very nice life, working 6 days a month. 6 days.
Yeah, I got buddies of mine.
And there's some pickleball in there. No 6 days.
I got buddies of mine that did that as firefighters. I got buddies of mine that have done that in the military, and they're young dudes, and they're out, and but they put their time in. They put their time in.
Yeah, and if you take advantage of the system young, like my our friends that were in town from Virginia, that he's been in the Army he's about to retire this year or whatever.
Yeah, he's our age.
And he's younger than us.
Your age.
Yeah, I think he's 38 or 39 years old. And he's going to retire, and obviously he's going to get another job after. But then you get, the pension and the benefits from retirement and all stuff. And he just right at 18, he went in, and now it's you're looking at all, at our age or younger than us, and you're set up at least with that cushion of, all right, I got this money that's going to come in and never going to end, and I got these benefits from these 20 years of work I put in now.
I told you last week we were talking about, I have a very good buddy that did that same sort of thing. And yeah, I mean, if you're motivated enough when you're young to be able to take that path, I think it's the best way.
Yeah, but when you're young, at least when
I
was young, I was like, I don't need to work, or I'm going to be famous.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I was like, that's what I'm going to do.
I was like,
I'm not going to put in work now.
If I went in the Army now, I would.
I don't think they'd take you.
If I went in the Army now, I'm saying this is me as a teen. I was like, if I went in the Army now, I would only be performing my boy band songs in front of the troops, and they're not going to like me. So,
But also, when you're 18 and you look at, I could retire at 38, I'm like, 38? I'll be dead by then. That's an insane amount of time. But then it just happens, and all of a sudden you're 38. You're like, oh man, if I only would have done that.
I remember when 38, to me, even now, I think of 38, I'm like, so young. 38. 10 years ago? Are you crazy? I'd kill to be 38 right now.
Yeah, but there was a time that I was a dumb old man. When I was 18, 38 was an old man.
Mm-hmm.
It's all perspective. Everything's perspective.
Of course. You want to do a couple of voicemails to close this one out?
Yeah.
All right. Let me get a couple of these guys here. If you want to leave us a voicemail, you may do so two ways. 1-844-TOMNDAN. That's our little Tom and Dan hotline number. You can call that and leave a voicemail. Or you can get our app. We're working on the app, working on it today, trying to get the new one out as soon as possible. But we have a current version that you can still use to leave messages like this one from Canadian Josh.
Tom, Dan, and Sam, it's Canadian Josh. I may have missed it, but are we as a show and audience taking an alcohol break or reevaluating our relationship with alcohol? On the BDM show, Tom, you said you had some potential alcohol-related issues. Dan, I guess you're pulling back. I think Sam, you mentioned you've been 2 weeks.
Alcohol-related
issues. Support.
Okay, I guess we got to pause this. My wife even said this in the chat room yesterday, too. When you were talking about you had some beers, and my wife was like, wait a minute, he doesn't have beers. Let's get everything straight.
Well,
you drink seltzer, sir.
Okay, it's the same thing.
No, not the same thing.
When you get together with some friends.
And according to your boys, it's never touched your lips.
Yeah.
Well, no, according to them, drunk all the time.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, he says they have no idea there's a concept of alcohol. He's never touched his lips.
That's what we like to call denial.
Well, there's the thing.
When you
what alcohol-related issues did you say you had on the BDM show?
I think with the wrecking of the one wheel.
I just separated my shoulder again.
I mean, he's wearing a sling for Christ's sake.
I still contain.
I was thinking of the BDM show the week prior. Okay.
Contain or contend?
I contain. I'm contain.
Stay with
he still contains.
My alcoholism.
within his body.
I was just yelling something out.
I support that pivot. That's a great pivot.
But I contend that accident could have happened if I was was sober too. It's one of those random.
That's the beauty of accidents. They can happen when you're sober too. I tell my wife that for
Who
all
knows
accidents.
what could have happened?
Who knows?
But
I'm stepping back a little bit.
It's
definitely doing it.
Yeah, I'm taking at least August off. We'll see if I extend it or what. I don't know. But yeah, we're getting older. You can't drink like you used to.
I had already been doing it before I went to Atlanta. In Atlanta, I chose one day to just go kind of beer crazy, and that was the day we went to the ballpark at Truist. And then the next day, I didn't get out of control, didn't get crazy, but the next day, I did feel like a gigantic bag of dog S.
Oh yeah.
And
the hangovers affect you more.
And then there were things I wanted to do in Atlanta, like, I didn't talk about this because it's not funny, but I did the entire Slew Moo Institute hungover.
Oof.
And it's not fun
Hungover
to stick your
slime.
hand in pumpkin pie slime with your child and pretend like you're having a good time. That's something you probably would have had a good time at, right? So
yeah,
it's just like I know how to do it. And I think it's healthy for everybody to evaluate everything you're dealing with. Why not?
But it's just logical. As you get older, it's harder to recover from alcohol. And then what is alcohol itself? It's
poison.
It's a poison.
Yeah.
So I've noticed myself that when I drink too much, I feel poisoned. And especially since I've been in the past couple years trying to eat healthier. Like the healthier I try to eat, the more poisoned I get when I have too much alcohol. Now
You've been eating great.
A couple alcohol drinks seems to be not that bad, but it's like then when you have 6 or 7 in a smaller period of time or throughout the day or whatever, then it's like, I poisoned myself. And then it's hard not to poison yourself.
Yeah,
and then you're just like, I elect not to poison myself as much. So that's what I've been trying to do.
Less poison.
Well, like for me too, it's like things that if you fall into the patterns, and I'm sure Sam knows a lot about this too, because just they tell you this in therapy, and you're one of the only people I know of that can go to that. But it's almost like your pleasure centers with alcohol are so you're tossing that stuff around so freely, and you reset your point of joy. Like your baseline level of joy gets so high from consuming alcohol a lot, like every afternoon, that things that should give you that same level of joy don't do it. Playing vinyl records, playing guitar, me playing drums, exercising, stuff like that. Those things should give you the same amount of joy. Unfortunately, alcohol does a better job of it and in a faster way.
And your body wants that instead of the other things.
Yeah.
And then
it actually kills the other
right?
things too.
Yeah,
It'll destroy the other things too. That's why you see a lot of, you ever see guys that are like amazing musicians that you'll see them and you'll be like, oh my God, the guy's like a freaking virtuoso. You'll see it goes hand in hand with alcoholism or addiction in some way. And then you'll see that person years later and you'll see that they only drink and they can barely play anymore. It's almost like it stole it from them, like it took the entire gift away.
Yeah. I think everybody should strive to have a healthiher relationship with alcohol.
Or balance. You guys were talking about balance yesterday,
balance,
right? Work-life balance.
And then some people need to have nothing, and then just cut it out totally. And then some people can have a healthier relationship. I think most people fall in that middle area where they probably get drunk more than they should and probably drink more drinks than they need to. Yeah. It's like I've fallen into that trap where it's like, did I need to have the 4th or 5th White Claw? Could I have just gone to sleep or just switched to water? And then I would have felt better the next day. It's like, why did I do that? And so, honestly, but I could only have 1 or 2 and I feel fine, but it's because of the marijuana though too. Like marijuana has helped me drink way less than I did before. But
if you ask me my favorite, it's both.
No, yeah.
I will never deny that. It's like a couple of beers with a little toot is,
well, it enhances the effects of alcohol. So if you have marijuana and then let it set in and then take 1 alcohol drink, you feel it a lot more than if you didn't have marijuana. So it helps you
for
drink
me, it makes
less.
me want to do 20.
Yeah. Well, then that comes with some
them.
discipline. Yeah. But if you just want to feel the effects of alcohol like tenfold, have it with marijuana.
Sam was so mean in the chat room, and I loved it. EJ said, quote, I knew I couldn't live my dream with alcohol, and then Sam said, well, that's over now. And I almost feel like you deserve a raise for that or something.
Presto.
Yeah, just drop the paperwork.
Sam,
That was like grade A classic bullying. It's so mean. So mean. She wrote it so fast there's no caps. It's just like, it's like cacao in the throat.
And your dream was to be a
failure.
tight end on UM behind 2 Pro Bowlers.
You can have a beer now, EJ.
Yeah. Drink up. Drink up is what I say.
In fact, the fact that you don't is amazing.
That is amazing, yeah.
Because you look
are you
like you do.
drinking Kool-Aid?
You look like you do.
Like,
Mountain Dew, right?
Are you a full fat Coke? You
Full
can't
fat
drink
everything.
that. Yeah. Anyway, all right. We will be right back.
Sorry. That made me laugh. It's like, well, that's over now. Go fuck yourself.
Any word on Desmond?
This is Tuesday.
That's Wednesday.
Oh.
1 and 2.
Yeah,
Weird job Wednesday.
Yeah,
Pee really quick. Ooh, no sugar Snapple. You got to get that Snapple apple, all sugar.
Snapple's delicious.
I didn't hear any knocking, did you?
No.
Yeah. What are we talking about? Yeah. I typically drink to not feel pain. Yeah. Mentally or physically. So that's why I'm trying to not drink as much. So far so good. I got about 2 weeks in too. How's your shoulder today, buddy? Any better?
Yeah, I mean,
comes and goes.
It's just gonna
slowly heal.
I'm gonna have at least a couple more weeks.
Gotcha. Well, I finally made it 3 miles yesterday, which was good. I love you too, Jackal.
I forgot Desmond was 11:30. I was thinking he was 11.
Oh, gotcha. That's funny. I could definitely see that. That's the hardest part of pulling back from alcohol for me, typically, is the boredom that goes along with it. Oh. Has anybody noticed the difference in the News Junkie show yet? Are they...
Oh, did they already start?
I don't know. I have no idea. Wait a little bit for... Are we going to do another segment, or are we going to just wait for Desmond?
Well, yeah, they'll probably be here in like 10 minutes, so...
Yeah, no worries.
We can chat with the chat.
Yeah. Anything you guys want us to clear up on any shows that we haven't talked about that would make good fodder? Because you guys seem to know. You're here with us every single day. Oh, so Sean is there. And how do they do the cameras? Are they still cutting around, or are they doing...
Or is it only Sean now?
Everybody in the corners? I always liked how they did it. They do a lot of, like freestanding cuts, like a TV show. Or maybe they're going to start it next week or something. I don't know. I've struggled with that. Would it be better if it went on each one of us as we talked, or would it be better if you could see all of us and just see the reactions? I kind of like it being stagnant, and I like it being on everybody. That way you don't have to worry about catching an edit or catching a cut. But also, we run shit. The cameras? Yeah. Also, here, we run shit
looks
so
like
lean.
Sean and C-Lane are still at his compound.
Oh, okay. Then maybe they're starting it next week. Or maybe they've
I don't
solved
see
it.
Sabrina, though.
Maybe they solved it. I hope they solved it and they can just stay. That would be better.
What up, Seabass?
There isn't there, Jackal? I thought that what's the other? StreamYard. I thought you could use those. Oh, you mean like an AI field cuts? They're going to figure that out. There'll be by the end of this year. It probably won't work that well, but they probably already have it. It'll be a plug-in I can put in here, and when you open your mouth based on the way that you sound, it'll slowly fade to you while you're talking, and then if Sam says something, it'll cut to her. They got that. Guaranteed.
Well, they kind of use that for like Zoom, right? Where the person that's talking gets.
But I mean, like intelligent.
Presented.
That's just, I think,
Yeah.
if the noise, like if you clapped, it would get on.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna throw some.
Like the
smarts
AI
at it.
will, by watching the show or
Figuring
out where you would probably need some producer for a while to teach it. This is what we want. Yeah,
exactly.
But also, our studio is not set up to. If we were all sitting next to each other, you could do that one-shot camera. But because of how we're.
I could put a camera up there. We already have one. I could mount a camera up there and wide angle it so you could see all of us. If it really benefited, right? I don't think it benefits the show for you to see an establishing shot of our studio. I think you'd rather see Sam's reaction to you saying something, my reaction.
Closer up.
Yeah. So. But I like theirs because it's like when you watch it, it's like a TV show. It's like Sean's talking, and then when Ceiling says something, it cuts to him. Just him.
Yeah.
That's cool. It gives it some variety.
It's hard because I've always consumed talk content. Only audio because it is more efficient because
you can do it on the go and
I'm doing it while I'm doing other arbitrary tasks or things like so I like that and I've never gone to really any sort of video consumption of any content I like that I thought it was always been audio. Because it seemed like a waste of time watching it.
I'm into YouTube now for some reason. With the scooter, I think pulled me in there watching all these how-to videos. So
in the how-to, you need the video.
No, but I've started watching. It's funny. I've started watching in the mornings. I'll put them on in here when I'm just checking email and stuff. I'll watch like Theo Vaughn podcast or Tiger Belly podcast. I'll just like watch clips of it just to see what it looks like.
Yeah, and I'll see all the clips on like TikTok and whatever.
Yeah, you probably get a lot of that on TikTok.
It's just I never like, hey, I'm going to watch this podcast interview on YouTube and sit down and dedicate an hour to it. Clips I totally get, but it's like watching a full.
I've done it.
3 hour.
Not 3 hours.
Or whatever it is, or hour.
Yeah, I think the last one I watched was.
And I do not a lot, but I'll jump in on people's live Twitches. And interact in the chat.
I do that sometimes too.
The interaction I get because it's like now you get to actually interact with the people, and that there's value in that.
Sure.
I'm just saying, like after
sometimes
the fact.
it is like I think especially for comedy podcasts, it is funnier sometimes watching other people's facial reactions, and then when they laugh, it makes you laugh more. There's some kind of psychological thing there.
Yeah.
I do it a lot with Bobby Lee.
Like, people love when, like, if they don't watch live, and then Melissa will cut the videos of, like, you cracking up about the NPC thing.
They
like,
love
people
that.
like watching you laugh.
Yes. No, and the clips.
Balloon pop.
Yeah.
But that will make people go back and watch the entire episode.
Yeah. It could.
If they have the time.
I'm gonna admit something to you. After watching
There's
more
so
and
much.
more of these NPC girls, I think it's kind of hot.
It's starting to die down.
It is, but I see it. I see why. I see the appeal.
And I feel like, okay, people, unless you're sitting at a computer all day for work, like the normal person around our age.
You're gonna say stuff that's not true again just because you do it.
No, I'm asking.
Because a lot of people don't even watch. Even somebody in the chat even said they don't even watch like TV or movies anymore because there's so much stuff that's concentrated like on their hobbies and stuff that they'll go and watch that's online.
No, that's what I mean. My question being is like, how much is the normal person set aside per day for consuming, watching something? You know what I'm saying? Like that
they probably have a staff for that we could find.
You know, because especially if you know with kids and stuff, it's like, okay, you may get X amount of hours per day to watch something, and so then that you have to divide that up into you know a show you want to watch, or a movie, or the documentary, whatever, like, or podcast.
Are you guys
YouTube
watching?
content.
Are you caught up on Righteous Gemstones?
No, I'm 2 episodes behind, but it doesn't ruin it for me.
It's getting deep.
It does. It usually takes a serious turn about this area of
I think I'm on episode 4 or 5.
Yeah, they usually get a little.
Me too.
They usually get a little more serious. Oh, okay.
Did you watch the nude fight?
Yes,
I
watched that last night.
I'll watch any nude fight.
I appreciated that.
So I'm on the next episode now. After that, I finished that one.
I watch any nude fight. In fact, one of my favorite forms of adult cinema.
Eastern Promises?
For not masturbation. This is classic adult cinema, but this is just adult cinema. This isn't classic. The only adult cinema that I'll watch and just watch it, but I won't watch the whole thing. I just kind of want to see bits and pieces of it, is extreme fights or evolved fights, where it's a guy and a girl. They wrestle to see who can get each other's bikini off.
Yeah, okay.
The winner then gets to have their way with the other.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Evolved Fights. Look it up. We're going to interview the creator of Evolved Fights. What was the guy's name? Squeaky. Remember the guy we had? What was his name? Johnny Genitals. Johnny Genitals.
I was about to say Jocelyn Jane was in.
She's in.
Yeah,
she wasn't, and her big old titties fell out.
And
with a black guy.
That is
burned into my brain.
I feel like an evolution from the Japanese game show. Which
is pick your mom's butt.
No, they get.
Remember that one? Everybody's butt, and you had to pick your mom's butt.
Well, this, yeah.
And if you got it, you got to fuck your mom in the butt.
I'm talking about where they get into some sort of big, giant baby pool of
oil,
oil.
No, it's the Nuru gel.
A Nuru gel,
yeah.
And then they wrestle each other's clothes off, and then the goal is to make the other one climax. I believe that's the actual game. It's just although it's loose and you could tell it's like this is all for it's not real.
Yeah, it's not real.
But it's like that's the thing. So, but then
it's cosplay.
It's an odd rapey aspect
of
it too, which is you can't get beyond.
That's why I like That's why I like evolved.
It's like a tickle fight.
Yeah, but it was like the girl is trying to get away, but
fights,
she's trying to get at his penis. But
I don't think I've ever heard you say anything like that before. The fact that she's trying to get his drawers down is what evens it out. If it was just him doing that, it's horribly rapey.
Yeah.
You have to have.
But the opposite is rape too.
It is, absolutely, but you have to balance it equal time.
But it's both of them trying to rape each other.
Out. It cancels
double rape here.
Yeah. It's like a double negative in multiplication. Becomes a positive.
I think it's consensual, right?
Yeah. No, but I'm just saying the feel of it.
Of control. Just watch what you're saying.
Is somebody here? I thought I saw somebody. No?
I don't see anybody.
Oh, sorry. Didn't want
unless
you.
they ran away.
I mean, that's called the daddy's
Check
back.
the back
That's
door.
called a daddy's back medicine scenario. I did not want to embarrass ourselves in front of clients.
Did you check the back door?
It wasn't a knock. I thought I saw a shadow, and that's normally how I tell. But naked fighting on Righteous Gemstones, I have something to look forward to. You know who, somebody else said this in the chat room, who I find highly attractive because of how funny she is Judy Gemstone, the comedian that plays her.
Mm-hmm.
Just of how fucking funny she is.
Whoever did the casting for younger Judy and younger Jesse did a really good job.
We've talked, Tom and I have talked about the younger Jesse guy has his cadence of talking down so perfectly that it fucks with you a little bit. It's so good.
I forgot that Danny McBride is the director of that show.
Yeah, he's the creator for most of his stuff.
Yeah, it's him and that other guy, Jody
Scott.
Jody somebody.
The guy he writes with.
Yeah, Jody. Remember in the Foot Fist Way, Rex Kondo?
Yeah.
That's
or
not Rex Kondo. I'm switching. Rex Kondo's from
from
Quesadilla.
Yeah.
Nachos.
Yeah.
Give me the tots.
Napoleon Dynamite.
Thank you.
Yep.
But
John Heater?
The other guy, in the red, who fucks his wife.
Was it Tank? Was it something Tank?
I forgot.
Truck.
This just says created by Danny McBride.
Hold on, I gotta look it up. Danny McBride.
Jody Hill.
Jody
He's
Hill.
an executive producer.
Yeah, that's him. Jody Hill is awesome. Oh, it was Ben Best. Ben Best is who played this guy. Remember this guy in Foot Fist Way? That guy?
I watched it in so long.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the guy that performs in the living room in the red
Yeah.
outfit.
Oh, let me...
You know, I never finished Vice Principals.
Oh, so good.
I need to go back and watch the whole thing again.
I wish they would bring that show back.
There was Eastbound and Down first. Well, first was Foot Fist Way.
Yeah.
Then it was Eastbound and Down. Then
I never finished Eastbound and Down.
I did finish Eastbound and Down. And then, but I would go back through all of them because they're simple and dumb.
Baby Billy's Bible Bonkers.
Yes.
Is the best thing.
Baby Billy's Bible Bonkers.
Oh my God! I didn't know Ben Best, who played that character, he died.
Oh.
September 21st, 2021. My God.
Baby Billy is my favorite TV character.
Come on, Baby Billy.
And currently, and maybe top 5 favorite character.
Did you watch Vice Principals?
Yeah.
His character in Vice Principals was great too. Me and Trav always quote that or do the face where they're like fighting. Remember they were trying to set that lady's house up. They're breaking all her shit in her house.
Yeah.
And then they look at each other and he goes.
Yeah.
Me and Trav do that to each other almost weekly.
It's kind of like Danny McBride. It's like all kind of the same character.
Yeah.
And so
I love it. I know this happened to Jack Black, and I know it's happening with Danny McBride because I'll tell people.
Goggins.
People are like, I can't stand him anymore, and I fucking love it.
Well, because he's so good at that, whatever that is, the character, the essence of that, and then Baby Billy is the most extreme version, and it's the funniest. He's like a piece of shit. Like it's just like it's selfish piece of shit. It's so funny.
The songs that they write for Righteous Gemstones, like this one, it's so good because it's like real. They do like old Southern country gospel.
I told Trav I want him to wear that outfit for Halloween with the big shell behind him.
Yeah.
You know, I've been telling Butler to dress as Baby Billy since he worked at the show.
Yeah.
He's got his teeth.
He's got his teeth.
Yeah.
And I said, dude, if you got the glasses and got a white wig and had a Baby Billy
You
outfit.
could just spray paint it white. He still has the pomp.
He has
like Baby
perfect
Billy.
hair. Butler would win a costume contest.
If he wore that shell
should
costume, that shell outfit is fucking hilarious.
It's so good.
It's so Florida too.
Yeah.
It's so got that vibe of like hillbilly mermaids.
Do they get a lot of shit from the Christian community?
I haven't heard anything, but
from what I'm told they do, but they don't pay it any attention at all. They literally just act as if they're just look. Sorry, we're doing a show. Bye bye.
Yeah.
And because they do that, nobody really gives it it'd be different if they
Yeah,
were
yeah.
acting out or saying statements about it. If they did, it'd
Yeah,
probably
no one
get
cared.
traction
Yeah.
and people would protest. But God,
God,
this-
it's funny.
it's such a funny show.
And also, full frontal male nudity.
We need
is
more of
funny
that.
every time.
Yeah.
Penises waggling is hilarious.
I
And
appreciate it.
I snort laughed in the
it's still-
first episode of Regis Gemstones when that fat guy is fucking the hooker, and you see him walking in the background with his tiny pecker flopping around.
Yeah.
Andrea and I started scream crying.
And for whatever reason, it's like shocking every time you see it, especially if they don't give a fuck about it and don't try to hide it. It's
Well,
like
I mean, I would make the argument it is certainly more shocking than anything a woman has. When you just look at a woman, there's nothing there. But a guy is all moving around, and it's not good. Red.
Well, especially in cinema, they've always had hair to cover
a vagina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the slit.
Good Lord, man.
What the fuck?
This
I
guy.
was just
They've
describing
always
the
had
crack.
the hair to distract the crack. Did you mean to rhyme that?
Did I tell you that Max, what he saw, he was looking up.
Oh, I don't know. You overshare too much.
He was looking.
I saw the slit, Dad.
no. At Crystal's Facebook, she was
Okay,
scrolling.
good.
whatever,
I'm glad.
And
Why is your wife putting her slit on the Facebook?
And then Crystal came across an ad for like a nude bra and panties. So like the model was wearing, it looked like she just had
Smooth
everything,
yeah.
right? And,
Like a Barbie.
and then Max is like, what? No nipples, no crack in the penis. He said, no nipples, no crack in the penis.
You got work to do, buddy.
Oh
No
my
crack in the
God.
penis. That's a Pink Floyd song, Another Crack in the Penis.
So now
we don't need no sexual
You've gotta-
education.
And now, as a family, we randomly yell out,
crack in the penis.
No nipples, no crack in the penis. And then we laugh and laugh
This
together.
I feel so
I
bad for your.
support
I
this.
feel bad for your
I
children.
support this and their ignorance. I support it. I
then-
support how sexually dumb they are.
So yeah. Now
I like it.
When we say
I like it's better than what Maisie says. Maisie said to
you have a
Andrea.
penis or you have a crack in the penis.
I love it. I like it better than what Maisie and Andrea say. Maisie said to Andrea in the car on the way to Atlanta, "Have you had your period for July?" I don't want to hear
Why
that
does she
shit.
want to know that?
I don't know. Because they're little adults. I live with 2 adult women. I would rather have crack in the penis is funnier.
Max and Tommy were at
These kids aren't going to know anatomy.
They're-
and they might have. Never mind.
they're at dinner yesterday. And,
They yell crack in the penis?
No. And then
I'm gonna start yelling
Max is like, he's asking about me and Crystal. I forgot.
How do you put your penis in the crack of the penis?
I forgot how this conversation came about, but then he was like, and then you put your mouths and you swirl your tongues around, you mix the DNA, and then that's how you have babies. And then I was like, uh-oh.
You're raising dum-dums.
That's all I said. And then Crystal,
Yes.
And then me and Crystal
My boy
looked
is
at-
a scientist.
Well, whatever. I can't explain it to them now. They're too young. So
Yeah,
then
they're-
I just like, oh. Then I just go
You
back to
eat your
eating.
sandwich.
Yeah, because I don't
I've
even
got
want
a
to go
video of
into it.
that. No.
I just want to let it go.
Just leave it alone.
Because they'll eventually.
You know, you're supposed to be raising and teaching your children
what,
things.
What am I supposed to like start
There's-
explaining?
Go on the internet and look up some parental classes and
but I think
figure it out.
I think the internet would say it's too young to teach them intercourse or
not
whatever.
maybe not intercourse, but maybe anatomy.
If they ask,
Well, they know.
No, they said crack in a penis.
Well,
That's not.
If they okay, Tom is talking about something that I've referred to as toe biting. It's when kids come in with their confidence and they start talking about something that they think they know, but you know as a parent it's absolutely wrong. But they're not necessarily asking; they're just making a declarative statement. Like Maisie will do it, and I call it toe biting because she'll be like, "Oh yeah, that's." She'll be looking at something. She'll be like, "Oh, here's the problem. It's the thing with the thing," and she's absolutely wrong because she's so stupid. But I just let it go because I don't want to have to open the
And
can of
Tommy,
worms.
he's getting close to puberty at this point. I
What?
think if they're asking questions like this,
What's up, man? How are you?
you might want to start correcting them on some of them.
No, you're good, man.
Hello, come on in.
Hi, Daniel. Nice to meet you, man. Pleasure. This is Sam, our producer. Sam? I'm going to hit the restroom real fast.
Yes. You can go grab a seat right there. Do you need water or something?
Water be great. Yeah. So this is where all the magic happens.
It is.
I was riding. I was like,
It all looks the same around here, right?
No, I was thinking, I was like, this is a residential area.
Yeah, there's
like,
businesses and residential on this street.
As you got up here, I seen like some signs. I was like, okay.
Yeah, our first studio was a couple blocks over in Daniel's house, in the bottom floor of his house, and that's where we built the podcast there. And then as it got bigger and bigger, about 6-7 years ago, we moved into this commercial space because it was so close to his house, and we only need this recording studio, an office space, a lobby. That's all the space we need. So it worked out.
Yeah. This is I like it.
So I figure, we'll just go over. We'll talk about you being a sponsor of the show, and then I'll go into finding out that you were the owner, and then I'm a big NFL fan, so and then we'll just kind of start with. I just had some questions about your career, and then how you got into this industry and that kind of thing. So
super duper easy.
It's super easy, yeah.
You got headphones right there, and there's a little hook there if you want those. You don't have to wear them, but they do kind of help you sound a little bit better. And set this camera up to make sure you look good. Thanks again for taking the time, man. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, my guy Corey, he's strong on me.
Yeah, Corey's great.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
All right, we got it.
So this will be Tuesday 1?
Yeah, we can do Tuesday 1.
Okay.
So this will actually air tonight on 104.1, and the podcast will be out tonight.
Okay.
So.
All righty, Mr. Van, I'll start and kick it to you. How about that? Here we go. And this is the beginning?
Yes.
Okay, do you know what you want to plug here, or are you going to go quick?
Oh, we'll just go into it.
Okay, great. Here we go. 3, 2. It is another A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I am Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha, our producer's here. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
Let's not waste any time because I know we were super excited about this, and finally we get to ask many questions that are stuck in our brains about NFL, sports, and stuff like that, and the like.
Yes. Before we even start, I'll kind of explain how this happened behind the scenes. So I get an email from BDM Corey Davis.
Yeah.
And he tells me about his company, Bear Down Logistics, who's a sponsor of our show now. And if you're in the need for any commercial moving, if you're a business that needs something moved, contact Corey. His number is 407-308-0490. He's a BDM. He'll help you out.
For all like seminars, you're moving all the stuff over to convention center, stuff like that. They can move it.
And so as we're talking, have the meeting, the initial sales meeting where I'm telling about the show and what our packages are and everything, and he's telling me about Bear Down Logistics and what they do, and trying to figure out, okay, I know there's some BDMs that work for companies out there that use logistics companies like this to move items. So maybe they can suggest to their boss or even their own company, hey, I could use Bear Down, especially because Corey's going to give you personalized customer service.
There you go. That's
anyway,
the way it works.
At the end of the conversation, we started talking about it. He's like, oh, you may know our owner of Bear Down Logistics, Desmond Clark. And I'm like, Desmond Clark, the tight end for the Bears? Is he owner of Bear Down? And then he's like, yes. And then I'm like, well, now the deal is sealed because I want to talk to Desmond. And
it takes a lot to move his needle. Like you see his hair flew up in the air like that.
And in studio with us right now is Desmond Clark. How you doing, Desmond?
I'm doing pretty good.
Hey, thanks for the time, man. We appreciate you being here.
So I got excited because Desmond, I watched you play, you did play for the Dolphins one year, and so but primarily with the Bears. And so let's start from the beginning because you went to high school in Lakeland, correct?
Yeah, went to Kathleen High School, not too far away from here, down in Lakeland, Florida. So that's where it all started.
Nice.
And from there went to Wake Forest and then on to the NFL.
So Desmond, now I'm curious because you can kind of give us the insight into being a high school athlete and obviously being a really good, highly recruited high school athlete and what that means and how early do you
it means a different thing now, but back
totally different thing.
That was in the 90s. Obviously you got drafted in 99. So like being a high school athlete back then, did you know, and did people start even early on when you're a freshman or something, like because of your athleticism, did people start saying like, hey, you get a college scholarship and you may, you can make a living at doing this? Like, how early did you find out that you may have the goods?
Well, it didn't play out like that because I wasn't this superstar athlete in high school.
Okay.
The superstar athlete in my high school was Ray Lewis.
Ray Lewis is here. Okay.
Yeah.
Ouch. So what are the chances of that?
Good God.
With all the athletes in all the high schools, I did not know.
It's like you show
Ray
up for
Lewis
tryouts and you like, I think I'll put my name up here, and you look and you just see Jordan. You're like,
exactly.
I'm not gonna do it.
And what's the class difference between you?
He's 2 years older than me, so he
Okay.
played 2 years with my older brother. I played 1 year with Ray.
Okay.
Nice.
You guys may also know another first-round draft pick by the name of Freddie Mitchell.
Yeah.
So Freddie Mitchell, I was his quarterback in high school. I was 2 years older than Freddie Mitchell. A lot of people also may know of a kicker that used to turn his back to the football, Paul Ettinger, that kicked for Michigan State and the Chicago Bears. I was his holder in high school. Another second-round pick that went to the Minnesota Vikings, not as well known because he blew out his knee his second year in the league. I went to Virginia Tech. Torian Gray was also from Kathleen High School. So we had a number of those guys. They were highly recruited. We had another guy that never made it. His name is Ken Bridges. He's the reason why I was recruited because he was our top player. He played running back. He played linebacker. He was getting recruited by every school in America. He ended up going to Clemson. But when they come and see the best player, they also see the other players.
Yeah.
I was one of the other players that they seen.
So it actually kind of helps.
Man, God bless the other players.
Exactly.
We're
out here.
When there's a spotlight on your school and there's like premier athletes coming out of the school, like because the scouts are there, like they see you too.
Exactly.
I also like your attitude on that because I don't think most young people, I would like to think that they would think this, but it's a very positive way to think, to be like, well, if they're coming to look at him, I better show my game too. You never know.
Absolutely.
You never know because, just it almost makes you in a weird way root for your friend, which you don't see a lot of, especially online.
Yeah.
You see a lot of people tearing down. Yeah. I mean, again, no online. So
exactly. And we didn't have all of this. Social media stuff.
Distractions. You call them distractions.
We didn't have distraction media. I'm gonna start calling it that.
I mean,
that's a good name.
I think you can take that and make some money.
Exactly.
With it.
Yeah. But it was just that. For me, it was all about how can I get to college.
Yeah.
And this was the only way I was gonna get to college.
Yeah.
Because mom didn't have money to pay for it.
Yeah, it's so expensive.
But I said to myself early on in life that I wanted to be successful. So my steps to that was graduate high school, go to college, and then get a good job. And the only way I was going to go to college is to outcompete the next man for a scholarship.
Yeah.
And that's how I kind of looked at the whole playing field for everybody in Lakeland, Florida. I used to keep up because I played quarterback.
Yeah.
And I kept up with everybody else's stats just to make sure that I was somewhere near the top. That was my goal. So I would get recruited by somebody so I can go somewhere and go to college.
I mean, you got a good college too.
I went to a really good college. Yes.
Man. I was gonna say Wake Forest, right? I mean,
yes, and I hope I'm representing them well and pronouncing all of my words correctly and using the right tense and everything.
I think you're doing just fine. Now we're not doing a good job, but you are just fine.
Well, Desmond, and how do you find out? Did the recruiters call you, talk to you? There's an interview process for Wake Forest. Were there other schools? Did you choose that one? How did that go?
Yeah, there were quite a few schools. Central Florida was one.
Nice.
And Dante Culpepper. So before I get into that, check this out. Here was the 5 All-State quarterbacks my senior year. Dexter Jackson. You remember him?
Yeah.
Super Bowl MVP.
Yep,
Tampa.
Yes, sir.
Dante Culpepper. Peter Warwick, Sean King, that also played quarterback with the Bucks, and myself.
That's insane. The class of talent.
Yeah.
That it was how rare is that? That seems insanely rare.
All five of us end up making it to the league. Some of us at different positions.
Yeah,
but
crazy.
I mean, you talk about that class of quarterbacks coming out of one state.
That's nuts.
That's crazy.
It is crazy.
How did you find?
And I forgot about your question.
No.
We probably forgot about it too. I'm just sitting there having fun listening to the stories.
No, well, the question being, was it like Wake Forest and other other colleges that you choose from?
Yeah. So Central Florida, Virginia Tech, North Carolina State, Wake Forest, and I'm forgetting one other school that I took my visit on. But those, Georgia Tech.
Okay.
Those were the 5 schools that I took my visit on, and for me, I didn't really like Georgia Tech. I didn't like the guys there. When I went there, it wasn't my vibe. Virginia Tech, that's where Torian Gray went. Torian Gray is my brother's best friend.
Okay.
So obviously I was drawn there, but I was a quarterback in high school. Virginia Tech, they were running the option. I didn't want to run the option in college because there's no future in that.
So you're looking at schools, you're looking at systems, you're looking at.
I wanted to play receiver.
Okay.
So that's why UCF made sense. Dante Culpepper was going there, but they wanted to recruit me as an athlete. I did not want to play defense at all. So being recruited as an athlete, no, that was out.
What does that mean? Just basically open.
They'll find the place for you when you get there.
Gotcha.
Yes.
I've heard guys balk about that because again, it's like it's almost like it's good, but it's like if your dream is receiver and that's what you want to do.
Exactly.
I mean, I guess it is a step down in your brain a little bit to do that, but it is still the goal, right? To make it.
It's still the goal.
But there's also business aspect into it because even we're talking about different time where the money was different.
There was no money.
Yeah.
Not for a 2.5-star athlete like I was.
Yeah. But it's like looking at position could determine all right, I'm gonna pick a position that gets paid.
Sure.
That's the whole problem with running backs now is these premier athletes they're looking at the running back position and hey, I'll anything else but running back.
Put me at receiver.
Yeah. Tight end are even better than running backs.
Correct.
It's especially now in the NFL. But anyway, so you play for Wake Forest, and when was the realization that you could go further and make it into the NFL? When did that happen?
It was after my junior year. But here's the thing, I dreamed about playing in the NFL. It was never a goal.
Okay.
That was a dream. And it's two different things. A goal is something that you're actually trying to work for, and you laid out a path. But a dream is just man, if one day, if I could ever do that, that'd be great. And that's what that was for me. But it was after my junior year. I led the ACC in catches that year. Was second team all. I led ACC in catches for a career when I left Wake Forest. But that junior year, I petitioned the NFL to see what my draft status would be. And that's when they told me if I left my junior year, I could possibly get drafted as high as the 5th round. And then that's when it made it real to me that this is an opportunity.
Sure, yeah.
I can actually play in the NFL.
And how do you find that information out?
This is the part that I don't think anybody's ever told me or I've never heard of, because what you're telling me right now is so crazy to think that.
And that's just someone's opinion, though. That's not even a guarantee.
No, you actually submit paperwork to the NFL.
Do you have somebody guiding you through this process, like a mentor, an older NFL player, or anybody helping you?
No, you have an agent that you haven't yet contracted with.
Whoa.
And then they'll tell you, hey, do this process so you can figure out kind of what the NFL is placing you at that time. And so I knew of an agent, Torian Gray, like I said, is my brother's best friend.
Right.
I actually went with the same agent that he went with, but I called him. He put me in contact with his agent. His agent told me how to go through the process. I went through that process. I wasn't going to leave, but just wanted to go through the process. And I got that letter back, and it had the NFL emblem on it.
What?
And yeah, man, it was pretty exciting.
Yeah, that is, man, I'm living it with you. This is neat because you never know. And again, guys, you got to understand, you're a kid when you're doing this, too.
Yeah.
That's got to blow your mind. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it,
And at that point in time, then
5th round, man.
So,
Well, hold on. They said 5th round to potential undrafted free agent.
Okay.
All right.
So they're like the top is a 5th.
The
bottom is
all I saw was 5th round. Okay.
They can't
I saw the
guarantee
NFL
anything,
logo,
I'm sure.
5th round. I moved on.
And so then when once you put in the paperwork and like there's no going back, or is there? Like once you submit that, can you, if you don't get into the NFL, can you go back to Wake Forest? And
well,
continue?
this is an unofficial process, right?
Okay.
So I haven't, at this time, I'm not signed with an agent, and I'm not declaring. This is just you submit this paperwork to see if you were to come out, where your draft stock would be.
Gotcha.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just to get
And they
an
don't
idea.
penalize you for going through that process at all?
Right. I
See,
think they
business.
encourage it. They encourage that process.
Sure.
Because we've seen it a million times, right? People go and they leave early.
Yeah.
Then they don't get drafted, and it's like, oh, bad choice.
Right,
right. Whoops.
Yeah, because they could have maybe played another year. Their stats could have been better or whatever.
Yeah.
Or
Right.
just that year in particular.
Yeah. Look at your
certain
class.
teams are
Yeah.
looking for certain players.
Sure.
Right.
So there's a lot more, complications that go into it. So
that's why I think I love the fact that you're like, well, I'm gonna do all my research and put out my feelers, get the agent, get my status, see where I'm at, and then I'm gonna make a really well, thought.
I was never leaving. Trust me.
Yeah.
I was never leaving. I just wanted to know.
So I'm curious, Desmond, when you're sitting there as a player, like obviously you just want to make it into the NFL, but do you start thinking and start like researching what team could possibly take you, and then start thinking, well, I'd rather go to this team than this team? Like you start, or do you just
Or you
sit
just let
there
it
like
roll.
whatever happens?
I didn't think about any of that stuff. And here's, because we was talking about the youth of today.
Yeah.
And here's where I think the youth of today kind of get themselves in trouble. Not in trouble. They just put the cart before the horse.
Okay.
I was only focused on being the best player I can be at that time. That in high school, my junior year, how good can I be? And then next year, how good can I be? And then I got to Wake Forest. I wasn't starting, and I was like, okay, the first goal is I want to start. So let me work on being a starter. The next year I was a starter. So now, and if we have time, I'll tell you a funny story about Peter Wark and how he and how he motivated me to be as good as I was in college. But then now my sophomore year I'm starting, and now I'm looking up at everybody else in the ACC. I want to be the best in the ACC. Then I led ACC in catches, right? And now what's after that? Now it's going to the league. And so every year it was just, all right, let me focus on right now. I think a lot of youth, they start to look down the road. Well, if I can go to this college or that college, dude, you're a sophomore. Chill out.
Yeah.
Work your ass off, and then it'll come if you put in the work.
Sure.
You don't even have to worry about that.
Yeah, because a lot of things are beyond your control anyway.
Exactly.
So starting to plan out where you want to go, it's like just focus on being the best you could be.
Yeah.
All that other
it's
stuff
really just
is
being
beyond
in the
your control.
moment
Yeah.
and controlling what you can control right now at your highest level.
Exactly.
Yeah, and the rest, like you said,
and it'll all come.
It'll
all come.
So how'd you find out? Like what's the where were you at, and when did you get the call when you got drafted by Denver?
I love these.
Yeah, so I was at home with Mom, and we had about 30 or so people in our apartment. And my agent told me, he said, hey, if it's a good draft, you'll go in the 4th round. If it's a bad draft, you're going in the 6th round. So there were two, I forget one guy, but there were 2 tight ends. One left early, Rufus French, out of Mississippi State.
All right.
Don't remember that name, do you?
No.
I don't, but it's a great name. Rufus French? Sounds like a villain.
He was like one of the top tight ends, but he left early. Talking about leaving early. And my agent told me, hey, once these 2 guys go off the board, then you'll probably be right after them. So it's 4th round. Man. Rufus French is still on the board. I wish I could remember the other guy's name. He actually got drafted. 5th round comes. Rufus French is still on the board. 6th round comes. Rufus French is still on the board.
So you're waiting for him to go so you can go next because that's your agent.
I know that Rufus French is burned into your brain.
Yes. So I'm like, after he goes, then I'm going to go. But now it's middle of the 6th round, and I'm thinking, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Forgive me.
Which, by the way, when you have all of your friends and family,
I got mini sandwiches. We got Publix chicken tenders here, man.
It was like
we got a spread. We got mini cheese cubes.
Who was it with like Will Levis and his girlfriend were sitting there?
No, I hated that.
The draft.
I couldn't watch it.
You just have to, with the draft's over, you have to get up and leave.
Couldn't
watch
watch
I
it.
feel embarrassed.
My wife put that on. I said, turn that off.
And think about when you're that high of a draft pick too, and you got the whole world watching.
It's not fair.
Nobody was watching me, and I was still feeling it.
Yeah.
And so and
what's
then,
mom doing?
Everybody else is just chilling.
Everybody's chilling.
Yeah, everybody's chilling.
Are you eating at all? Are you nervous? Are you eating? Are you just sitting there?
I'm a little nervous because Rufus French is still on the board. So I don't go until after Rufus French goes. And I don't know if it was something against the French. Maybe his name should have been Rufus Spain, and then maybe it'd have went earlier. But I'm sitting there, and now I'm starting to get calls. And I'm getting calls from people saying, if you don't get drafted, we'll love to have you here as a free agent. And now that's like totally demoralizing me. Like, oh man, like I'm not gonna get drafted.
Yeah, because you're like they know better than I do. They
already know something.
They already know. Yeah.
So I got like 4 of those calls.
Oh. Okay.
And then I finally got a call from Mike Shanahan, and it's pick 179, I believe. And Mike calls and said, "Hey, how do you feel? How would you feel about being a Denver Bronco?" That was his question. And I would feel great. 2-time world champion. Denver Broncos. I'm probably not going to make the team, but yes.
And what's that like? And by the way, what a weird question, because of course you were not going to be like, well, I don't feel too good about it.
I've never been that far west, the mountains and all of that. I'm a southern guy. Yeah, I don't know.
You don't even have to say anything. You're Mike Shanahan, and once you've called me, I already know.
Yes.
I promise you, I'm not kidding when I tell you this. I thought that was all a formality. I didn't think that the coach phone call was like a real deal.
Oh, yeah.
I always thought that behind the scenes, that like, no, just have his assistant or have somebody call. Like, I never knew it was
a recorded voice.
They pick up the phone and they call you. Yes.
No, but you know what I mean? Like, why? I mean, you could have somebody else do it.
So like those other 4 calls were either from a GM or from a head coach.
Wow, man.
So I kind of want to fast forward a little bit here to because you played in Denver. How long did you play in Denver for?
3 years.
3 years, and then you got injured, correct? And then you went to the Dolphins.
I don't know. Oh, they can't. We do have cameras.
Yeah.
So if you guys see that long scar there, that's where I broke my arm. Woo. Had to put in seven screws and a plate.
Oof.
And they also brought Shannon Sharp back that year. So once I got injured. Shannon Sharp is still there.
That bum.
Dwayne. Yeah.
What a bum.
I know. They bring back a has-been to replace an up-and-coming guy. I had 51 catches and 6 touchdowns the year before that. But why would they ever do that?
How'd you break your arm?
Blocking, man, and I had a dumb running back running. No, I'm kidding.
Ooh, take him through his injuries. They love that.
Sorry.
No, but I'm blocking, and the running back, Orlando Gary, who was a friend of mine during those days, he's just running, and he runs right into the back of my arm, and I just feel this sting, and I'm like, oh, man. So they go on X-ray, and I come back out on the field, not knowing what happened. And I can remember the freaking trainer comes over to me, and he was like, does this hurt? And he presses down on it. I'm like, oh, my God, what are you? He was like, because your arm is broke there. And so they took me off the field a couple days later.
He didn't have to do that. He could have just said, I think your arm's broken. I've seen it on the thing.
Yeah.
It was a different time.
I'm going to squeeze him first.
We're talking like 2002?
Actually 2002. It was the camp of 2002.
Yeah. Different generation.
Yeah.
Which is insane to say, but even looking back at what the NFL was back then, we talk about how
I'll tell you how different it was.
Please.
1999, my rookie year, we actually had wedges and wedge busters. So I was in the wedge.
Explain to everybody what that means.
So on the kickoff, you got the kickoff team, you got the kickoff return team. So the kickoff team always had the wedge busters lined up right next to the kicker. Those are the guys that run down the field as fast as they can and bust the wedge. So what is the wedge? The wedge is 3 or 4 big guys, tight ends or offensive linemen that form a wall. We all holding our hands, and we are leading the way for the kickoff returner to follow us. So wherever we go, we create a wedge. So we're going to bust through anything in front of us and give that kickoff returner a crease to run through.
Okay.
So
perfectly placed siren.
Yeah, exactly.
Placed.
So essentially, in people's mind, it's two of the best, a group of the best athletes in the world running full speed.
Yes, into each other.
Into each other. Full speed.
Full speed.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so
the injury creating is the most injury creating event in
This is why they changed so many of the rules, especially during kickoff, because of how dangerous it was.
Right.
I've heard other players talk about how they hated this because it was almost like guaranteed injury. Yeah.
Hated it. So this is in Jacksonville, actually. And I'm on the end of the wedge. It's 4 people, and we're coming down. And it was a running back. I forget his name. He used to play at Denver, so guys were picking at me because I got knocked out by one of their former teammates.
Oh, no.
And he's coming down full speed, and we're coming at him full speed, and we collide. Boom. And the only thing that I remember was the other tight end, Dwayne Carswell, saying, Des, just stay down. I woke up on the sidelines to them putting fingers in my face, how many fingers I have. And I guess I answered right. The next,
I guess I answered right.
They're going to push it back on the field.
No.
Yeah.
The next special teams, I was back on the field.
Crazy. Well,
yes.
Back then, the trainer's like, it's close enough.
Yeah.
He said a word, and that's a
just
word.
kind of turn it.
He can still talk.
Put him
He
in his
answered
spot.
the question, right?
Yeah.
Put him in his spot.
I mean,
Exactly.
give him some smelling salts. In fact,
They
keep
did.
keep
That's
this
exactly
in your
what they
sock
did.
in case you started getting woozy on the
Have you
field.
used that stuff will blow your mind.
Like how they took concussions in the late '90s is insane to even think about in 2023.
Absolutely. Because I was totally knocked out. And I'm sure they knew, but it was a different time. But, yeah, I woke up on the sideline to them waving fingers in my face.
Yeah.
How many fingers? I don't know, like a few.
Well, Desmond,
More than one.
I've joked around in the '90s as a kid while I was watching videos put to music of the hardest hits in the NFL, and it was just people getting knocked unconscious, and it was to shot through the heart.
It was like they
shot to the heart.
And people
go to blame, and then it's like some guy getting his helmet rocked off.
You used to be able to someone would get knocked out on the field, and the other player would openly mock you.
Yes.
All this is stopped, but it's like the other player would stand, and then
you're out, and he's doing the crying hands like wham, baby.
Your arms are stiff. You're unconscious.
Oh, no. They used to call it reaching for the rope. Because if you go back and watch when a lot of people got knocked out, like you said, their arm would be up in the air and they'd be stiff.
Yeah.
And that's how they knew that people was knocked out, because they was reaching for the rope.
They had a joke term for
not be laughing at
neurological damage.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it just comes down slowly. They were reaching for the rope.
Your brain
God's
is
rope. Take me home. Yeah,
is firing wrong, and it's stiffening your muscles. So and the people were laughing. No one understood back how dangerous it was.
Could you feel a change in it at all when you were playing at all? People taking it more seriously? Did that start?
Well,
you kind of played through it.
I came right at the beginning of kind of that movement of taking care of players with concussions. I think Concussion, the movie, actually came out the year after or 2 years after I retired.
Gotcha.
So I came right on the beginning of, hey, let's take better care of our players.
Right.
And earlier you said we didn't know anything about it. I think they knew about it.
Really?
But it was just one of those things that, hey, we just keep it to ourselves, no harm, no foul. But then when it was exposed, now they had to do something about it.
Yeah, the public. Yeah. I mean, I think everybody's well aware that the NFL
can't
only
put it back in the tube, man. It's out. We know it.
They only address something when it's brought to the attention of the public.
Or there's video.
Yeah. When
Right. Deny until there's video.
Until
there's video.
Yeah, when it's better for business, then they have to actually do something.
But I mean, you can't fault them. Like, I'm certainly glad that they're taking care of the players. You saw the same thing happen in wrestling, where they're taking care of the wrestlers. It's like athletes. You take care of our athletes.
Des, I'm curious to even you almost have to even look at stats and records differently pre and post rule change, especially with quarterbacks.
Passing, yeah.
Because what quarterbacks used to have have to go through.
Oh, man.
And then you look at the older quarterbacks in the 90s and stuff and like what they achieved in a league where you could hit them as hard as you want, drive their shoulders to the ground.
You can break them.
Like every quarterback in the 90s had separated shoulders, like with the bump and everything, because they just get driven into the ground and they would want to hurt the other quarterback. What they achieved during that time is different than what you can achieve now based on the rules.
And an older quarterback back then was 32.
Yeah.
That's a quarterback in his prime now.
Yeah, because you couldn't last. And even like with playing the tight end position with the defenseless receiver hits, that like coming over the middle back even when you played used to be like a quarterback throwing over the middle.
Most of those were in your video, by the way, because I know the video you're talking about.
Yeah.
Come across the middle.
And the
kabam.
the linebacker would just spear you at first, where you're looking to try to catch the ball.
So once I got done playing, I started thinking about that. And it's crazy to think about, right?
Yeah.
Because you have to be semi-crazy to go across the middle of a field and focus on a ball to catch that ball, knowing that you got grown-ass men coming and trying to literally decapitate you.
Yeah.
They're trying to knock your head off.
Yeah.
And you
get a
focus.
bonus from your coach.
but think about you have to focus so intensely to make that play. And to be able to do that, that's one of the reasons why I truly believe I can do anything. Because to be able to have that focus and that type of danger, like that's some otherworldly type stuff.
That I've thought about it too. That has to be one of the most dangerous plays an athlete could make at that time period of any other sport, because there's no play as dangerous as going over the middle as a tight end wide receiver and trying to catch a ball while the DB
and you know he's there,
linebacker is
and you do it with no fear.
Yeah.
You do it with no.
You can't
think about it.
You don't even
you'll
think
drop
about
the
it.
ball and you'll still get hit.
And you'll still get hit.
It's crazy that you and you're right, to be able to mentally get through that. You could face anything in life.
Do you know how you got there? To be
no,
able
it's
to
brainwashing.
Do that? Yeah,
it's literally brainwashing in a good way, because
so it becomes involuntary for you.
Right?
Yeah. So from the age of 6, you've been coached. This is what you have to do, right? And over the course of time, when you first start, you go out there and you're like, I don't know.
Right.
Somebody's hitting me. As a kid, somebody's coming to hit me. I'm going to be a little scared.
Right.
But over time, you get conditioned, like you said, to this is just what it is. This is just what you have to do. And you just do it without even thinking about it.
And
awesome.
Would you train catching the ball and tucking it as fast as possible, because the helmet's going to come and they direct the helmet to where you catch the ball to try to knock it loose.
Out.
So it's also one of the hardest catches that they can't be replicated now because of the rules. But like, you're catching the football, but also you have to maintain possession simultaneously while you're getting hit by one of the biggest dudes in professional sports.
Also running full speed.
Yeah, helmet into the ball you're holding too. Yeah. How'd you even practice?
So that part the helmet into the upper body never scared me. It was the helmet cutting my legs.
Okay.
That always scared me.
Because then you fall onto your head.
Because you get your knee blown out, or something like that, because you can't see where they're coming from. And I was more scared of the getting my knee blown out or something like that than somebody hitting me up high.
Is that why you see some players almost hop up and get off their feet while they're catching the ball? So because if you have your feet on the ground and someone's hitting you low in your legs, it could definitely blow your ACLs out.
Yeah. I don't know. But I know people, they will protect their legs at all costs.
Yeah.
Right. You come back from a concussion most of the time.
Yeah.
But if you blow the ACL out,
the season ending, right?
Or
career ending, possibly.
It could be career ending if you do more damage to just the ACL.
So Desmond, I want to talk about going to the Super Bowl, because you had a crazy, unique experience of getting to go with the Bears, and I remember watching that Super Bowl when they ran the kickoff back.
Devin Hester.
Devin Hester ran the opening kickoff of the Super Bowl back. And I remember I was betting on the Chicago, and I was like, "Oh my God, it's happening!"
You and every other Chicago Bear fan.
And so let's talk about going to the Super Bowl and like what that entails and how big that is.
So at the beginning of that year, I felt like we had something special going on.
Yeah.
Last year we got knocked out of the playoffs, not in the wild card, but divisional round by Carolina that year. Carolina went on to lose the Super Bowl. Coming back that next year, and I got to go and find all this video that I was taking because I just knew. I think we all kind of knew that we had a really, really good team. And as the year started, those first 6 games, I mean, we were just blowing teams out. Like, you don't beat teams like this in the NFL. I think we beat Buffalo like 48-10 or something like that. Yeah. And the tight ends
score.
Yeah, we're sitting on the bench like, it don't supposed to be this easy.
Yeah.
But then we started getting good wrecks, bad wrecks, and it wasn't that easy. But you guys remember the Arizona game when we didn't score offensive touchdown, and that was the game. They are who we thought they were. Dennis Green. Yeah. We didn't score offensive touchdown and won that game, I think, 24-23. Rex threw 4 interceptions. When we won that game, we absolutely knew that we had something special going. And we just went along that year. And once we got to the Super Bowl, I'm playing in my home state, so it was special.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And I'm getting chills right now just thinking about it when they introduced representing the NFC champions Chicago Bears, and we all run out on that field, and you have all of the cameras and all the lights, and I'm just thinking to myself, man, like I'm really here playing in the Super Bowl, and the whole world is watching. Like I just had to sit and think about that, and I'm the type of person like I'm really calm, so most games I just go into it and you know, it's not a big deal. It's just a game. I practice. I'm ready for it. Here we go. But for the Super Bowl, I got on the sideline and I had to calm myself down and tell myself, man, it's just a game. Play it just like any other game. And I was literally talking to myself because the magnitude, I'm still getting like chills.
That's insane.
We're giving me chills. But you're like, it's funny
from the kid in Lakeland High
Not
School.
Not supposed to be there, right?
It wasn't Lakeland High School. Never say that. That's like calling my mom the wrong word.
Oh my God.
Kathleen High School. That's our rival over there.
I'm in a high school in Lakeland, and then now you're playing the Super Bowl in Miami.
Nuts.
Just to think about, man, this was a dream beyond all dreams. And some people have that dream, and playing the NFL never even get there.
Never ever get there.
And then so even the likelihood of getting the Super Bowl is rare, and then how insanely rare it is, just to make it there is crazy to even think about. And crazy that you have to put it out of your head during the event because you're like, I need to focus on, this game.
Yeah, for sure.
It's nuts. I'm curious, Desmond, with you fast forward a little and you retire from the NFL, and this is a question because your NFL career for most players is what the average is like
3 to 4 years.
3 or 4 years at the most, and sometimes it's less. And so you have to think of what am I going to do after. Now, while you're playing, I imagine that you're only focusing on playing.
Yes.
But did you have a plan in the back
Not
of your
at
head?
all.
No. Okay. So
not at all.
Tell me about retiring and the decision to retire and all that.
Well, it wasn't my decision.
Okay.
You know how that goes. So I got hurt my last year, third preseason game. They ended up letting me go. I had a great camp, and I was surprised that they let me go. But I stayed in shape, and the 10th week when I was eligible to come back to the Chicago Bears, the third tight end got hurt on the field. It's like, perfect. I'm here. I'm in shape. I called them and say, hey, I'm still around. Would love to come back to the team. They said they were going to call me the next day. They would talk about it in their meetings. They called me the next day and say, hey, we're going to reserve this spot for a younger tight end so we could develop that tight end. Hung up the phone. I was like, well, I guess that's it for me. And that's how it happened.
And there was no more, did you think hey, I'm going to try to,
nope. It happened. Okay. It happened just like that. Okay. When the team that knows me best, that they know my heart, they know my character, they know everything.
You have a relationship with them, yeah.
Yeah, and they say, hey, we're gonna go a different direction. I didn't want to be one of those guys that's flying all around America doing tryouts and all of that other stuff. Like, there's more to me than football.
Sure.
And I played 12 years, and literally
That's a hell of a run.
Yeah, really.
That is. And I actually played 13 because they gave – I played 12, but I got credit for 13. They gave me credit for that last year because I was injured when they released me.
Nice.
But, yeah, when I hung up the phone, it was literally like a switch. It's like, it's over. It's over.
Did you get emotional about it at all?
Not at that time. Yeah, not at that time.
It has to sink in or,
I didn't tell you the truth. I didn't really get emotional about it till maybe a year or so later when I'm still trying to figure out what in the hell I want to do with myself.
Right.
Yeah, and I literally like wrote and like I used to write in journals all the time, still do. And
I just started doing that, man. It's worthwhile.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
You're a very in the moment kind of guy. Like
I
you're
try
in
to
the
stay
now.
I try to stay in the moment.
That's good, man. I'm trying to get better at that. I'm not good at it, and it's hard.
Before I came here, the reson why I was six minutes late is because I was talking to my guys, Corey being one of those guys also, about being in the moment and pressing the moment for everything that is worth, and like giving 100% in the moment for what you say that's important to you.
Sure.
Because, people go around, oh, man, this is important, that is important. But are your actions really saying the same thing?
Right.
And that's what I was challenging my guys with today. Because what was my podcast yesterday? Expectations can't exceed effort.
Oh,
and that's what I was challenging them on. I was like, all right, we got these expectations, but is your effort really saying that this is what I want to accomplish?
Right. Do they match?
Yeah.
They're not. You're saying they're important, but you're not proving to me they're important. Yeah, no,
Right.
I'm picking up everything you're setting down, man.
So,
I am really trying to be that way with my daughter, with my wife, with this business. Like when I'm on
Stop.
here,
Oh, stop right
I'm
there.
on.
Stop right there. I said, I was like, I'm not perfect, but I said, y'all tell me if I'm not living up to everything that I say I'm living up to. I say the three most important things to me is to be a good husband, good father, and to build this $100 million business that we said we're gonna build.
Yeah.
And I say, you look at my schedule last week. I'm up before 5 o'clock every day. I'm in here 5:30 in the morning. I'm here into 3 o'clock, 3:30, and then I go home. I literally lay down for 30 minutes, and sometimes I even fall asleep in that time. Then I'm up. Then it's time for my son to start getting ready for football practice. I spend a little time at home. I coach his football team.
Nice.
Then we don't get home, and I tell the coaches, I was like, hey, sometimes I'm going to be a little late because I got extra work to catch up on. So I sit in the car for 30 minutes, I catch up on the work, and then I go out and I start coaching. We don't get home until 8:30. And now I just can't go to sleep on my wife. She wants some time too.
Right.
So, and I'm dead tired. But now I may not go to sleep 10:30, and I'll right back up at 4 o'clock, 4:30 the next morning, or maybe 2:30, or maybe 3 o'clock if I got work that I know I got to do that I can't get.
Needed.
Whatever it takes, right?
Yeah.
But I told them my focus is my focus, and I was like, you remember when my son was in school, when I left this job, what did I tell y'all every day I was leaving to go home to do? There's like, do homework with your son. Yes, because the top 3 things are my top 3 things. And everything that I do, every decision that I make, every action that I take is revolving around those 3 things. And I give 100% to that. And that's what I was telling them today. Like, hey, if I keep coming here every day and saying I want to build a $100 million business, and y'all see me here 2 hours, and I was like, most of the time y'all don't even see me in the office. I'm in the booth. I was like, have y'all ever asked why I go to the booth all the time? No, you don't ask. I'm going to tell you. Because I want to be hyper-focused, and I don't want any distractions. And I say, y'all see me come back in here for 5 minutes, check on y'all, make sure y'all got everything, and I'm right back in the booth. But that's how I try to live, like, because I'm trying to max this thing out, right?
Yeah,
I'm 46.
Desmond, you're making me feel lazy.
Oh, God, Desmond, he's going to yell at me to get to work on my lunch break.
No. All I hear is, man, Desmond is working hard.
Yeah, and he spends time with his wife.
This is why he made it to the NFL.
So like
Good
last
dad,
week,
husband,
last week I didn't have time with my wife
owner.
because my son had football practice, literally every day, from Tuesday to Saturday. I knew my wife wanted time.
Mm-hmm.
So on Sunday, we went to church. I was like, all right, we're going to drive to Tampa, spend all day in Tampa. We went to dinner in Tampa.
Nice.
And I did that strategically because on Mondays and Wednesdays, I'm over in Tampa at my office. So I was like, if we drive to Tampa,
I love it.
I take her out in
You
Tampa.
own the business.
Yeah. Like, we take her out in Tampa, and then now I get to sleep for an extra hour and a half.
Smart. Work
Before
smarter.
Before I have to go to work.
You're the ultimate grinder.
He's a business genius.
But that's a different mentality. This mentality is what got him into the NFL.
If you'd have been a football player, we'd be in a much better business.
Well, he was Arena. Don't forget.
Last question, Desmond. Okay, I don't know if you're
No, we don't have time to talk about that.
Yeah, that's your fault.
Anyway,
I'll just pass and comment.
Desmond, last question. How'd you get into this business, the Bear Down Logistics?
On accidents.
Okay.
On accident, not accidents.
Yeah.
It wasn't more than one. So the years prior to me being in this business, I was doing full-time speaking and coaching.
Okay.
Right, leadership coaching. And through that, did a lot of marketing, came in contact with this guy who owned his own logistics business. He wanted to do some cross promotions. We had some discussions, and then he actually offered me a position with his business. That's when I started to learn more about this business.
Yeah.
And understand it. And once I got a chance to understand it, I was like, this is a unique type of business. I mean, logistics is not going anywhere. People are always going to need their food, their products, whatever it is.
Yeah, businesses need to move things. There's no way around it.
Yeah, they got to ship stuff from point A to point B. And I got more curious about it. And long story short, he has a business that has a niche in drayage. And I say, how much opportunity are you leaving out here by not doing flatbed and dry van and all these other things? And he said, about $200,000 to $300,000 a month. I'm like, what? And you're not capitalizing on that? Basically, that's what I said. Yeah. I don't want to work with you. I'm gonna create my own business, and then maybe we can partner together where now we can toss each other opportunities across the fence.
Yeah.
And that's how it all started.
That's awesome.
And I'm sure you're like, well, I know how to work. And then and I've seen a lot of that with like someone who's got the grinder mentality and can work hard and focus, and they see an opportunity in a market that is like, oh, this is full of people that may not have the same mentality I got. It's and then your business flourishes because
it started that way, right? It started that way of me just grinding by myself. And then towards the end of the year, we're doing really well. And I'm not knowing that I'm supposed to be sinking at this time because the industry is tanking. But I'm not looking at anything. I'm just grinding. And when I looked up, when I came up for air, I kind of realized, all right, I'm doing well. Everybody else is sinking. Over 100,000 logistics companies in 2022 went under.
Wow.
And I'm still here. And I kind of refocused the organization around people like Corey.
Yeah.
And I said, because you remember when I told you I was doing all this writing when I left the NFL, one of the things that I wanted to do was help other people be successful. That's why I went into speaking and coaching.
Sure.
So now I got this vehicle of logistics, and I said, well, how about I build this company by helping people like Corey Davis become successful? And if I can help logistics agents like Corey be successful, reach their goals, then I'll reach my goal also. So that's how we build this company now. Like, my job is leadership. My job is to make sure Corey got everything that he needs. He has all the support on the back end. That's my team. I build all the support on the back end for him to, once he bring in opportunity, we make sure that we pick it up. We make sure that we deliver it. We communicate everything. We get all the paperwork for him, and we bill it and invoice it. And every week, Corey says, hey, Desmond, I had 25 loads. I made $5,000 this week. Cut me my 50%. And if I can do that for 25 different Corys, then I hit my goal.
Well, that's what T&D Media needs.
Yeah,
We need a leader like Desmond.
I know, we really do.
He knows how to do it. No one wants to follow me.
I think he'd look great in a black T&D polo, wouldn't he? He would look awesome.
So, it's funny. People ask me, and I've started to change this. Oh, so you do logistics. And now I'm very transparent with it. Me personally, yes, I have a logistics company, but I have people that do logistics very well. My job is leadership. My job is to put these people in position to win and give them all the resources.
You know your strengths. Yeah, I like that, man.
Well, Desmond, thanks so much for
coming.
Hey,
thanks for firing us up naturally. I mean, you weren't even coming to motivate us, but you did. So we appreciate you, man. Thank you for doing that.
Some people say that's just what I do.
I love it. Yeah, awesome. It does. Yeah, it's good. It's good, man. And thanks again for giving us the time.
Absolutely.
We really appreciate it.
Again, it's bear-logistics.com. Bear, B-E-A-R, down-logistics.com. Desmond, thanks so much. Give Corey Davis a call if you need anything, and we will see you in a minute.
Awesome. We're still live on Twitch and YouTube.
Okay,
cool. Got this. We're done.
Thank you so much.
Great job, man.
Yeah.
That was great.
That was good. I always fly past, too.
Yeah, I know.
What a great story, too, man.
Yeah.
Where's that go, Sam?
Tuesday 1 and 2.
Thank you, man.
Wait, it's funny because we're going to talk to you way longer. I just looked up at the time. I was like, oh, man, we already hit our 45 minutes.
Question.
Yeah.
I've been there before.
Honestly, because I could have definitely, and maybe have you in again later on.
I would
love
love
have
that.
any questions and stuff, just,
The chat room very much enjoyed your story.
Oh,
yeah, we really appreciate it, man. Very nice meeting you.
Thank you very much. And we'll continue to keep pushing it, and I'll be talking to Corey.
Nice to meet you. Yes.
And,
yeah, Corey loves you guys.
He's a good dude.
He turned me on. He was like, "You never heard of Tom and Dan?" I was like, "No." He was like, "Yeah, you gotta listen to him."
It works too much. You get no time to listen to podcasts.
No, you know what? I don't listen to radio, but I do listen to podcasts.
Okay.
So
Right on.
Yeah, that's kind of when we started. We started in radio, then went to podcasting in 09, and then it's kind of like we saw the writing on the walls. Like as the people started getting more and more smartphones, and then podcasting became popular.
All right, guys, it's lunchtime, so I'm going to turn this off, and we'll see you back here, God, maybe a little bit later than 1. I don't know. Do we have anybody else coming in? We don't, right? Yeah, we might be 1 or